declaration made. One is that one by INEC. One is that one of the people. When I said of the people is whoever can read section 134 of the Constitution and take a position, then we are entitled to our own view of what crisis is facing Nigeria now. The certificate of return issued to Alhaji Tinubu is a dud certificate. It is one certificate that breaches the provisions of section 134. Therefore, the requirements to be declared as president-elect have not been met by Tinubu Shetima ticket. The declaration, therefore, as it stands now, as far as the people of Nigeria who choose to adopt the literal, clear, interpreted meaning of section 134 is concerned, there is really no president-elect.
All right. So let's clarify.
Yes.
So section 134 suggests and puts to Nigeria.
Does not suggest, provides.
Yeah, provides what Nigerians should think about when they are electing a leader and the office of the president. And it talks about.
No, Seun, you're wrong. You're wrong. It's not what they should say when they are electing a leader. Section 134 stipulates who to be declared an issued certificate of return. It is only that candidate that has scored the highest number of votes and at least 25% in each in at least two-thirds of the states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory.
All right.
Remember,
so I thought you were going to say something different from what I was going to read.
No. Each. And now it is very clear Tinubu does not have 25% in the FCT. We denied him. We got 61%. Atiku does not have 25% in the FCT. We denied both of them. By the clear, unambiguous provision of the Nigerian Constitution, which must not be breached, Tinubu has not satisfied the requirement to be declared president-elect. Accordingly, there is no president-elect for Nigeria now. I repeat, accordingly, there is no president-elect for Nigeria at the moment because the declared one violates the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I know what I'm saying. The Constitution is there in your presence, it's available, everybody is reading it as I speak. I'm not therefore behaving illegally or unconstitutionally. To the contrary, I am supporting constitutionality. It is in fact better for the powers that be to go and create additional 6% out of thin air and rig it back to Tinubu and therefore swear him in on 25% than to go ahead and take the risk of swearing in a so-called president-elect that has not met the constitutional requirements.
Interesting. This conversation that, what you started saying, just for a moment, was one conversation I had with Mr. Olisa Agbakoba a few months ago when he was one of those who raised it and said, INEC need to come out to explain to Nigerians this second part of the provision of the section 134 of the Constitution about the 25% in two-thirds of 36 states is 24.
Good.
Plus the FCT. Whether or not, if you meet that of the 25% of two-thirds of the state, which is 24, but if you fail to meet the FCT, what happens? That it was one major issue which is raised. But for the benefit of our viewers, let me just read quickly what section 134 says. And it says, a candidate for an election to the office of the president shall be deemed to have been duly elected, where there being only two candidates for the election, he has a majority of votes cast at the election. that is the first provision, then it has not less than 1/4 of the votes cast at the election in each of the least 2/3 of all the states in the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. That is the second provision.
Can I comment?
Go ahead, please.
This document you read is not a puzzle. It is in English. O levels that you wrote and I wrote and the justices and everybody that is a candidate wrote. It is law. The law is not a game for politicians to play. This document is not available for Yakubu to interpret that day. It is there for him to follow. The English is very clear. These are fundamental provisions of the Constitution. They come already interpreted. You cannot take a gun, shoot somebody, and then ask the family to go and get interpretation that you only fired your weapon and then it killed him. No. This Constitution is more than abundantly clear. It says and. Shehu, you know the meaning of and. We know the meaning of and.
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that
there is no justice beyond what is simplicity. Simplicity is justice. Simplicity is wisdom. Simplicity is knowledge.
All right. So that is an interpretation which you are giving.
Listen.
No, because there are other people who have argued.
There is a universal.
There are other people who have argued differently.
Go ahead.
And when Bola Tinubu was declared, he has his supporters. A lot of people were happy that he won the election. There were 38% of the votes cast were given to him. And those people are Nigerians
By INEC. I told you to be qualifying what you said, please. By INEC.
But that is what is being presented officially, except otherwise
now
disputed.
Now you have
otherwise
qualified
disputed.
it. Go ahead.
If it's otherwise disputed, because that is what is fact that we know now.
You have qualified it. Go ahead.
So that is your interpretation of this provision, because some other people argue differently.
Those who have argued differently ended up helping our case, because they say that there is a certain ruling which says the FCT is a state. Good. FCT is a state. Where is the each of 25% for FCT? It is not there. That constitutional requirement has not been met. That certificate of return is null and void and cannot be sworn in as president. And let me tell you, the way they are going, disregarding the calls of the people, violating the Constitution, let them even go ahead, even if they swear in Tinubu Shetima on 29th of May. They are swearing in an unconstitutional government. Nothing will change it. I am not a careless, reckless speaker. I am working with the Constitution there, that document, right, you just read. I'm following it. And I dare to tell you that swearing in Tinubu and Shetima is as good as swearing in the Nigerian army on 29th of May. If you swear in people that have not satisfied the requirement, you have, by so doing, ended democracy. The crisis I'm telling you now is that this, our democracy, is going to end by the way we are going. This democracy is going to end on the 29th of May, 2023. Please write it.
Those are extreme,
you know my
those
name.
Are extreme thoughts.
I am very, very happy to say it.
No,
you know my name. You introduced me.
Yeah.
Listen, don't stop.
I will, because those are extreme thoughts. You know why? Because there are allowable language to be used on television, especially as it relates to our nation and the unity of this country.
Put your question and let me answer you. Put your question. I know what I'm saying.
If there is an official...
If you breach the Constitution...
But is it not left to the court to decide otherwise?
This is already decided by the courts.
But the authority in charge of election gave a declaration.
Sherwin, if you are afraid for some things, don't ask for them.
I am not afraid. I will, as a citizen of the country, by the ethics and the guidelines of my profession, live by it.
Yes.
What is lawful? And I hope that you're a lawful citizen of the country.
Very, very
and so whatever the stipulation of the law guides, if you are aggrieved about something, you go to the court to seek redress, isn't it?
This document is a product of the legal system. It has been signed into law by the President, Commander-in-Chief, Federal Republic of Nigeria. I believe in this document. That is why I'm so lawful. That is why I'm so confident. And that is why however extreme it is, Sheung, I am saying it on national TV. I don't like to take risks. I'm not taking any risks. Swearing in a ticket that has not met the constitutional requirements of the Constitution, okay, is ending democracy. Quote me on it.
That's your interpretation.
That is my interpretation, and that is indeed a correct interpretation. You cannot swear people who have not met the constitutional requirement. You can't do that. If you did it, you have done something unlawful, something unconstitutional. And I'm repeating it. Whoever does not meet the constitutional requirement must never be sworn in. You said my name. If you like, I can say it again. I'm Dr. Baba Ahmed. I'm not taking risks with my safety and with my life. But I'm repeating, swear in anybody who does not meet the constitutional requirements of our country. You are engaging in an unconstitutional act. Mr. President, do not hold that inauguration. CJ and your lordship, do not partake in unconstitutionality. I am taking these risks for the sake of my country. Yes, it is extreme, and I'm saying it. It was more extreme for Yakubu to issue that certificate. It was reckless. He is putting all our lives in danger. All of us were already at risk. So what is there again in me taking risks again? What have they not done against Nigeria? What have they not abused in Nigeria? Now they will take the constitution where it is clear, it says, and get 24. After that, and FCT. They fail to get it. They are going to swear this man in, and I should be afraid? I will not be. I'm telling you that on the 29th of May, 2023, swear in Tinubu as this result is, you have ended democracy, whoever you are.
Welcome, everyone. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Ms. B, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Mr. Pius, thank you. Welcome, welcome. I greet you all. I greet you, I greet you, I greet you. So,
looking to establish your business.
The Nigerian authorities have taken steps to counter the French ambassador who refused to leave their country after the 48 hours ultimatum expired. These steps include stripping him and his family of all diplomatic privileges in Niger. They've also cancelled their visas. He's become persona non grata. The authorities have also directed the police to look for him and expel him from Niger Republic. That means the police will be laying siege in front of their embassy. Anytime he steps out, they will arrest him because he no longer has immunity. They will move him straight to the airport to deport him. Yes, this is called reasserting your authority in your own country. Only France refused to evacuate their embassy. All the other countries, including those that were not even expelled from Niger, all evacuated. The Chinese have moved their citizens out of Niger. The Germans, United States, many of them have evacuated from Niger because the atmosphere is unpredictable. No one knows if the ECOWAS invasion is imminent, so it's better to just evacuate early and watch by the sides. But Macron is defiant. He's refusing to evacuate the embassy. Macron is boasting that his ambassador will not leave Niger Republic, despite being declared persona non grata. He also said that they do not recognize the military authorities as the legitimate power in Niger Republic. This leads to one question. Why is it only France that is maintaining this ground? Why is it only France that is questioning the legitimacy of the military authorities? It has become a revolution. You can no longer be referring to this as a military coup. That ship has sailed. It is time for people to stop asking why military coups have become rampant the past 3 years in Francophone countries. Isn't it time we started asking why democracy has failed the people? Yes, that's the real question. If operators in a democracy obey all the rules, there won't be strife, there won't be agitation, there will never be a military coup. But the reverse is the case. There's no dividend of democracy whatsoever. What we witness are stealings, corruption, all sorts of impunity. They want to lord it over people just because they are elected. Elected in quotes, because many of them didn't even win elections. They rigged themselves into power. Some people overstayed their tenures, the permitted tenures that they are supposed to stay in office. They manipulated their constitutions to extend their tenures. That's why you see many leaders spending years in office as if they are in a monarchy, as if the country is theirs, is their empire. You see the Nasimbes in Togo. You see the Libongos in Gabon. You see the Bias in Cameroon. In all these countries, they have one thing in common. They say they are practicing a democracy, but that's not the case. The democracy belongs to one family. The power revolves in one family. It never moves out. So let them give it the right name. It is a monarchy they are practicing, not democracy. Look at Paul Biya. He spends most of his time in Paris instead of being in Cameroon where he's the president. One will even think he permanently lives in France instead of Cameroon. Look at Ali Bongo and all the billions the police have seized since the coup happened. What are they doing with all the money? They are laundering the money to Europe and other Western countries to go and develop their own economy while their people suffer. No military man, no patriotic military man will see this and not seize power from politicians, because that's the only way to stop them. The only other way that citizens can stop a politician is by going to vote them out on election day. But when the results are already known before you even reach the polling unit to cast your vote, then there's no other option. That's why most of them spent decades in power without anything to show for it. You can't remove them through the ballot like it is permitted under a democracy. So it's no longer a democracy. They've hijacked all the state institutions, from the police, the army, the justice department, the judiciary, everything. They've hijacked them. So it's only a revolution that can stop them. It happened in many Western countries. Even France experienced a lot of revolutions in their history. So military coups and revolutions are a result of the failure of democracy. Although the one that happened in Gabon, people of Gabon should not rejoice yet. We'll make a separate video because a lot of things that are going on that people are not aware. More details in that video. This brings us to the new ultimatum Tinubu gave to the Nigerian authorities. He told them to organize themselves and return to democracy under 9 months. That's even less than half of the 3 years the military authorities are proposing. And according to the VOA, it is a suggestion, but it's a start. Who knows? Maybe they can reach a compromise and come to the middle. It's all part of the negotiations. His suggestion also shows that they are now moving away from military intervention. If they eventually agree on a timeline for the transition, it means all parties will work towards the implementation, not making threats at someone in his own sovereign country. One more question is he speaking as the ECOWAS chairman or as Tinubu on his personal capacity? Because this comes back to all the analysis we've been making all along. If he can say this without consulting his fellow ECOWAS leaders, that means he knows that whatever he tables before them, they will accept. He can convince them. So let him use that power he has to convince every member of ECOWAS that negotiations and diplomacy is the right way to go. No one needs to invade anybody because of a military coup. In many ECOWAS countries, they have many challenges to deal with. Let them deal with that instead of wasting time mobilizing, trying to threaten or invade Niger Republic. Niger is a sovereign country. Let them deal with the problems themselves. If they now call for help, people will willingly go and help them. But to invade them forcefully, that should not even be one of the considerations. This new proposal from Tinubu also shows that reality has dawned on him. From giving the Nigerian military 1 week ultimatum to return Bazoum to power, to giving them 9 months to form a transition program to return to democracy. So it shows that it is clearer to him now that you don't use force for everything. You don't threaten a sovereign country just because of a military coup. Just because you feel, is it not Niger we give aid to? We always give donations, arms, everything to them. We are more powerful, this, that. That's not how it works in reality. On the other hand, Brigadier General Chiani will see this as a win, because imagine being under pressure from ECOWAS leaders. Imagine sleeping with one eye closed and thinking, hey, we don't know when they will invade. How are we going to do this? How are we going to fight? How can we defend this country? From all that to an offer to form a transition program under 9 months. So there's no doubt that this is a win for them, although they might demand more time, because if they truly want to remove their country from the French influence, their influence on their economy, on everything, even the military, if they want to achieve all this, they will need more time to do that. This is assuming that they came to power to actually chart a new path for the country. If they don't do it now, that means a military coup might still happen in the near future. This is because, apart from all the reasons they gave for coming to power, there's one that people don't talk much about. The fact that the former president Bazoum wanted to sack Abdurrahman Chiani before he moved and removed him from power. So if Chiani executed a military coup out of selfish interest, that means he might not achieve much. Nigerians will be better off electing a true patriot as their president, who will get a better deal for the people of Niger, who will remove the French influence over their country, who will harness all the natural resources and develop Niger into a world-class country. This is not the dream of Nigerians alone. It is the dream of many Africans, where you find many natural resources, but people are still poor. Look at Gabon. They have oil, they have iron, they have gold, they have copper, many things. They should be the Singapore of Africa. But no, they rather steal the money than develop their country.
All over the earth, God is raising up a new breed of wealth builders who will use their money to shape the course of world history without building a...
If the military authorities in Niger truly want to reduce the influence of France in their country, they need more time to do that. In fact, they must accomplish it before handing over to the civilians, because the civilian government in a democracy can't do this. They were the ones that signed the unfavorable agreements with France in the first place. And if you look at the pattern, fellow Francophone countries, they've all chased France away, Burkina Faso, Mali. So it's only a military regime that can achieve that in Niger Republic. France is aware of this. That's why their military spokesman is threatening the Nigerian authorities that they will use force in any case that the ambassador is arrested or they try to invade their military base or the embassy, that the French military based in Niger will react in a forceful manner to save themselves. This is exactly what the French want, going by what Emmanuel Macron has been saying all along, that they don't recognize the authority in Niger. They are looking for an excuse for military intervention. And since ECOWAS leaders are no longer forthcoming, they've seen the opposition in ECOWAS region that no one wants to invade Niger in any guise. France is looking to do it alone. They don't want to live quietly. This is where the African Union needs to come in. They need to tell France to leave Niger Republic in peace. They don't want you. They say you should leave their country, but you are insisting you must stay in another man's country. They are doing this because they know that a civilian government in Niger will never be able to chase them away. that they must find a way to negotiate and force their hand to continue staying in the country. So what it means now is that France might be a stumbling block in achieving peace in Niger Republic. The military authorities have agreed to conduct a transition program back to democracy. The time frame is still under negotiations between them and the ECOWAS leaders, but they are most likely to say that France must leave their country before they can return to democracy. So let's see how the negotiation goes in the next few days. Thanks for watching.
And welcome to another evening of frank conversation here on Hard Copy, coming to you from our studios in Abuja. I'm Maope Ogun-Yusuf. From coups to beneficial multilateral engagement, quite a lot has been happening on the continent of Africa. On Hard Copy tonight, I speak with the president and founder of the Africa Diaspora Development Institute, Dr. Arikana Chihombori Kwao. Dr. Chihombori is a medical doctor, a public speaker, educator, and diplomat. Up until 2019, she was the African Union's permanent representative to the United States. She identifies as an activist, and truly perhaps not since the time of Kwame Nkrumah, the eloquent and charismatic first president of Ghana, have we heard a voice speak up so strongly on the need for Africa and Africans to unite. Dr. Chihombori is the author of the book, Africa 101, The Wake-Up Call. Your Excellency, it's a real pleasure to have you join us today on Hard Copy.
Thank you for having me, and keep up the great work.
Thank you so much. Well, my very first question to you was going to be, or is going to be, where precisely are you from in Africa? Because, you know, I've seen quite a number of the pictures of you, one of them portraying you as a Ghanaian queen. But others say that you're from Zimbabwe. My thinking is you might just say, Malco, does it matter? I mean, I'm African and that's all that counts. What do you want to tell us precisely where you're from?
Yes, actually, you're quite right. I am African first and foremost. I'm an African who was born in a place called Zimbabwe and became a Ghanaian citizen through marriage. And so, yes, the answer is yes to all your suggestions. But first and foremost, I am an African.
And it does appear that sometimes what people do intend for bad turns out to work out for good. You were relieved of your AU permanent representative job because powers that be were uncomfortable with your stance on neo-colonization, especially with the overbearing influence of France on states it once colonized. But it appears that no one saw the outrage that would greet that, and even how much more popular your gospel was going to get. Did you envisage all of this at all since 2019?
Not at all. Even during my tenure, I was simply delivering on my mandate. As a medical doctor, I went to Washington, of course, reluctantly. But of course, once a doctor, always a doctor. I started making diagnosis while I was in Washington. And my diagnosis, first and foremost, became the ignorance that we had of our understanding of Africa, not only as Africans, not as Black people around the world, but even members of Congress themselves, the US government, they really don't understand Africa. So I set out to address the issue of the ignorance about what was going on in Africa, educating the African diaspora primarily, and secondarily, those in the US government and anybody else that wished to listen to the message. Because I felt that that was the root cause of what was going on in Africa, the lack of understanding and appreciation of what was really going on in Africa, and more importantly, identifying the root causes. And for Africa, I came to the conclusion that France was the biggest risk to peace and security and overall African development, particularly in West Africa, because of one particular agreement that they would make the African heads of state sign when they were receiving their independence. It was a horrible, continues to be a horrible document that sadly, it has been allowed to continue to this very day, to the serious detriment of the Africans. So I set out to educate the Africans about France Others would say, why didn't you talk about the British and all other colonizers? Yes, we would speak about them as well. But the one that is leading the pack, the one that is taking the crown of the abuse and exploitation, it is France. And I felt very strongly that if France can come to the table and also renegotiate those contracts, if France can leave Africa, that would be the beginning of true liberation. And I'm talking economic liberation of the African continent. So France is leading the pack because of its deep roots within Africa, because of the agreements that the heads of states were made to sign during independence of Africa.
Yeah, by that document, I know you were referring to the Pact on the Continued Colonization. I think you've made reference to it in quite a number of your speeches, the continued colonization of African states. Is that it?
That's correct, yes. That continues to be in place today. And through that document, African countries, the former French colonies, upwards, it used to be 85% of their bank reserves had to be deposited with the French Treasury. It's now down to around 50 to 60%. To this day, poor countries are sending their bank reserves to France. To this day, poor countries, the first right of refusal of all contracts, public, private, large, small, French companies, the first right of refusal. To this day, all minerals discovered yet to be discovered, France has the first right of refusal. To this day, those former French colonies, all their military must be trained by France. All their military equipment must be purchased from France. And France has a presence in their countries and can invade those countries without notice should they feel the French interests are being violated. So at every level, the document is horrible and it remains in place today. I was horrified when I began to see the extent to which people simply did not know. So I made that my mission number one. Because as a medical doctor, if you're dealing with let's say, an accident situation, you first assess the heart. Does the patient have a heartbeat? Is the patient breathing? You don't worry about the broken bone. You don't worry about other peripheral damages. You start with the core. If the patient is breathing, if the patient has a heartbeat, you must revive them, get a heartbeat, get the lungs, get them breathing, and then you can deal with the other peripheral issues. So I felt the heartbeat of what was ailing Africa started with France. If we can deal with what France is doing in Africa, dealing with the rest of the colonizers will be easy, for their roots are not as entrenched into Africa as the French roots to this day.
Well, there are a number of Africans who have also delved very deep into this. I mean, I mentioned Kwame Nkrumah, right from the days of independence of many African countries. He also worked very hard for the independence of Ghana. We also have literary giants who've also delved into this. One of them is a Nigerian, Chinua Achebe, who has, delved very deep into, talking about the colonization and, the neo-colonization of African minds and even our literature and how all of this seeps very deep. I mean, Things Fall Apart continues to be, quite a literary work that everyone refers to. But some people say, we talk about root causes and immediate causes. What share, if you were to distribute, say, causes, I don't want to say blames, but if you were to, maybe I should use that word blame, if you were to distribute blame along root causes and immediate causes of where Africa currently is unable to fully achieve her potential, how will you distribute the blame?
I'm going to start with, of course, the mind, which is where, at the end of the day, that is where the problem really is. The legacy of colonization remains to be a serious issue for the African. It is the legacy of colonization that makes it difficult for us as a people to push back. Let me give a very simplistic example, and I use simplistic examples because I want people to really understand what's going on. Using the example of Niger, there is a mutiny in the school cafeteria. The students are sick and tired of a bully who's been taking their lunch for centuries. Finally, they've garnered enough courage. They now have enough knowledge to understand, and they're ready to stand up and push back against the bully. The question then becomes, why has it taken the students so long to stand up and push the bully back? It's because the students have been made to believe that you are inferior. The students have been threatened. The students believe that they're not as good as the bully. The headmaster, some have been smart enough and have tried to push back. Guess what? They were assassinated. But finally, the students now have enough knowledge. Question is, why has it taken this long for the students to have enough courage? But be it as it may, the legacy of slavery, the legacy of colonization left the African feeling inferior, feeling they're incapable, admiring everything else that somebody else is doing, that everything African is undesirable, that we're always looking to what those who don't look like us are doing, and we want to emulate what they are doing. Mm-hmm. That, to me, the biggest risk to Africa's development is the mind. When we can, yes, go ahead. I'm
so sorry to interrupt you, but I just wanted, to focus on that particular question. If you were to distribute, and I'm not going to, take away from the fact that you said, the mind is where we need to start from, but if you were to distribute it in terms of, apportioning blames to the root cause and the immediate cause, because people have also pointed at how it is that Africans themselves are conducting themselves and, do not seem to have sufficient compassion for the people as African leaders, do not have sufficient compassion for the people that they lead. How would you distribute this particular blame? Would you say 50% to root causes, 50% to immediate causes? In what proportion would you share it?
I would say the biggest problem right now is the mind. I still believe it is the mind. Secondly, the average African leader is fighting with their hands tied behind their back, and in some cases also blindfolded. I really don't want us to get lost in the mud about peripheral issues. Remember what I said, you get into an accident situation, first you said the heartbeat. Does the patient have a pulse? Is the patient breathing? We worry about the blown up eye, we worry about the broken bone later. We must go to the root causes. If a president of a country, my daughter, let me take you, you become the president of Nigeria today, with all good intentions, you are told, do not talk about your military, because we got that under our control as France. Do not talk about your financial resources. We control your central bank. We manage your financial policies. Do not talk about your finances. We have that under our control. Do not talk about your natural resources. Those belong to us. All your contracts, we shall choose and decide who builds your country. Now, if you stay away from all that, you are not free to run your country. What do you have? You've given up your natural resources. You've given up control of your financial resources. You've given up control of your military. What kind of a leader are you? I don't care what intentions you have. I don't care how Pan-African you are. I don't care how smart you are. Your hands are tied behind your back and you're blindfolded and you're supposed to engage in a fight and win. How? So I'm saying, before we even talk about how good a leader you are, I can tell you, I was joking with a friend. I said, I'm pretty sure right now, President Bazoum is probably happy. Because what kind of country was he leading? He had no power. He had nothing to control. That's a joke of a leadership. So once we understand that, we then go back and say, okay, fine. With whatever you were given, what have you done with it? Now I'm ready to start putting blame on the leader to say, okay, you had a small budget for healthcare. What did you do? Did you at least build one hospital during that year? Now, if it's a foreign minister, a minister of health, who is now failing to do something with that budget for 1 year, that's why we start putting the blame on local levels to say, yes, as a minister of health, you were given a budget. Show us at least one health hospital you built this year. Show us what you have done. So yes, we do have our own leadership issues. Leadership within very limited spaces. And even in those countries that are not former French colonies, we still have major presence and control by the multinationals who existed during colonization. They just went low, but they're still, by and large, running African countries. They're the ones who are the major employers, and they can manipulate the politics because of their presence within the country. They can gang up against a country and decide suddenly 10 of them, 15 of them can leave the country, taking away with them hundreds and thousands of jobs. So they still have some soft ways, underhanded ways of dealing and upsetting African economies. It still goes back to the former colonizers. So as we talk about our issues in Africa, let's not look at them in isolation. Let's understand in a holistic way all the issues that are coming to play when we end up with millions of youth unemployed. Why? Understand the entire process. Millions of children going to bed on an empty stomach. Millions of children dying. Women dying while giving birth to another life. Let's understand the entire genesis of what is going on. Because the tendency is for us to be pigeonholed and follow into this rabbit hole of a tiny little issue without understanding the genesis of that issue. And that is the holistic approach that I want the new African to fully have a depth of understanding of what is going on. So we know when we are fighting, is it a fight that is local, that goes to my house? Is this my village fight? Is it my provincial fight? Is it a country fight? Is it a sub-African, sub-regional fight? Or is it a continental fight? At every level, there are certain tools in our toolbox that we need to pull up. But to think you can take a village issue and apply it to a continental issue, that is stupid, that is ignorant, and we want our people to be politically mature and understand what fight this is, where we call for unity at the village level, unity at the national level, unity at the party level, unity at the continental level. So your question is a very difficult one to answer. My key point is to say, at what level is this fight? If it is a village fight, I can tell you how to apportion the blame. If it is a provincial level, if it is a national level, it is a continental level. It depends at what level this fight is all about.
Welcome back. You're watching Hard Copy, coming to you from our studios in Abuja. Dr. Arikana Chihombori Kwao, who is the president and founder of the Africa Diaspora Development Institute, is our guest tonight, and we're discussing development on the continent of Africa. Well, you haven't hidden your support for what has happened in Niger. You've considered, you say you don't want to call it a coup. You say you want to call it a realignment. But countries that identify as democratic have condemned what has happened in Niger. They think that democracy is very important to delivering on the welfare and security of the people of Africa. Do you agree with them?
I agree. Yes, I do agree. And also I disagree. First of all, again, going back to the genesis, keep in mind that we have walked away. We were made to walk away from our own traditional values, from our own culture, from our own indigenous ancestral leadership values. We are following their guidebook. We are following their ways of leadership. What kind of leadership tells you this is democratic? What is democratic about France forcing African countries, bullying African countries into giving up their financial resources? My daughter, answer me. What is democratic about that? What is democratic about France occupying African countries without their authority? What is democratic about France taking natural resources out of Africa? 90%, 95% of Niger's lithium is powering Europe and France. What is democratic about that? So you're saying, oh, forget that democracy. Let's just concentrate on this little bitty democracy. It is stupid. It goes back to the colonized mind. It doesn't make any sense. Before we can talk about democracy in Africa, let's practice democracy from an international point of view. Africa is not going to Europe to steal from anybody. Africa is not going to Europe to invade anybody. Let's go there first. So before you can talk about that, tell me why 90% of Niger is not electrified when their electricity, their lithium, is powering Europe. Answer that. Now we can talk about democracy. Let's not be stupid. Reality is, what is happening in Niger is those students in that dining room. It's now a mutiny. They want to keep their lunch. They're saying this time it's going to be different. We just want to keep our lunch. That's
How
it.
sure are we that this is actually going to deliver lunch to the people of Niger? This is not the first time we've witnessed coups in African countries. And often, Nigeria is a very good example. Every time a military junta has taken over, you always find a very good speech. They want to bring development to the people, or they want to fight corruption. And oftentimes, most times we see that the people rejoice for a while until we now begin to see that, the people are dissatisfied and then begin to yearn for civilian rule. How are we sure that what has happened in Niger, what has happened in Burkina Faso, what has happened in Mali, that these developments will actually bring about development to the people of those countries?
So what is your solution, my dear daughter? Let's just let things be. We're going to keep trying. We will keep trying. What happens is if Niger does it alone, they're not going to succeed because it's too small a country. It's already fighting against monstrous forces. That is why this moment is calling for everybody to support Niger. We must come together as a continent. We must speak with one voice. If we do not speak with one voice, even those who tried, are you trying to say Kwame Nkrumah didn't try? He tried, but he was alone. He was not supported by many African countries. Had Africa come together, when at the African Union in Addis Ababa in 1963, when Kwame Nkrumah and the Casablanca group were saying Africa for the Africans and African Union now, had the Casablanca succeeded back in 1963, Africa will be sitting in a different position. So my message to the Africans is, any African country that tries to stand up against the West alone without the support of other African countries, they are not going to succeed. Make no mistake about that. We are a tiny little dot in the ocean. But when we come together as a continent, that's why Niger must be supported, Mali must be supported. They have taken a position that is right, a position that is good for the Africans, a position that simply says exploitation of the continent can no longer continue. My daughter, you tell me, are you okay with all our natural resources creating millions of jobs for European kids when our kids cannot get jobs because our natural resources are not getting value addition? Are you okay with that? Do you call that democracy?
The homeless problem is getting worse. It's not getting better. Crime is getting worse. It's not getting.
Big question. I think that that's a question that all Africans will have to answer, but it's certainly not all bad news. I mean, for the longest of times, you have, promoted very strongly the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, which was signed in 2018, and quite a number of African countries have signed on to that. I think we saw the very first trade happen in 2021, but it's been slowly being implemented. Are you frustrated somewhat with how slowly things are moving with AFTA?
Let me tell you the honest goodness truth when it comes to the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. It's a wonderful idea. It's the one thing that the African leaders have been able to accomplish that was discussed during the creation of the OAU. Of course, we talk about one military, we talk about one currency, one customs union and all that. Of all the required pillars of Africa's development, the trade is one issue that the heads of states have been able to deliver. However, here is my biggest fear. As long as there's no free movement of people, it's going to be very difficult to implement the African Continental Free Trade Area. As long as we still have the exodus of African capacity, we are going to have issues with implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area. My biggest fear right now is that because of the African Continental Free Trade Area, we have now put a system in place where if we do not wake up to the reality, we are going to be handing Africa back to the colonizers, this time on a silver platter. Who has the funds to build the transcontinental highway? It's not us, Black people. Who has the funds and the capacity to bring about the development, to build the ports, to build the infrastructure that is required? It is not us. So who are the companies that are getting the contracts to implement the African Continental Free Trade Area? They're Chinese companies. They're Middle Eastern companies. They're European companies. They're Indian companies. It's everybody else except us. I have not seen a push to promote Africans coming together as a continent. I've not seen a push to line up the opportunities and say 60% of these must be occupied, must be run. These contracts must be given to Africans, must be given to Black people. I've not seen that document that's demanding that X amount must stay with the people. That is where I see the problem going to be. If we do not manage the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area, we are going to be handing Africa back to the colonizers, this time on a silver platter. That is my fear, and I hope it does not come to fruition. We need to make sure that we speak very strongly to it, We need a document that says, at a minimum, 60% of all the contracts must go to the Africans. And then we set out a plan to make sure that the Africans are educated and informed about the process of getting these contracts. We must also be very clear about how to mobilize the funding so Africa can be built by the Africans, for the Africans. We do not mind foreign direct investment. We do not mind our friends coming to help us, but Chinese do not look to outsiders to build China. Europeans do not look to outsiders to build Europe. No one else looks outside their region to build their regions. Why do we Africans, why must we always look outside? But also, the Secretary General for the African Continental Free Trade Area must go the extra mile to educate and inform the Africans, and also open doors for those opportunities for Africans to build the Africa that they want through the African Continental Free Trade Area. If that is not done, colonization 202 is around the corner.
So what would you then make of this summit, which is just concluded in South Africa, the BRICS summit, which is rounding up now? They say that their bank is going to be, that's the bank's international, the New Development Bank, which is the name of the bank owned by the BRICS nation, will now be lending out at least 30% of its loans, giving it out in local currency. Do you think this is a good development?
I think it's a very good development, but again, it has to be managed. My understanding of that development bank is that the funds will be given to the country, and then their job is to follow behind and monitor the process and the manner in which the funds are being used. I think it's a good step in the right direction. I was actually able to meet with their one of the directors for that bank, very jacked up lady who understands Africa well. So I think if we do our part as Africans, that's actually a very good thing. But we must also do our part. The problem with us Africans is always implementation on the ground. So it's about education. It's about really coming up with a special focus and talking to the people. Let them get a buy-in from the people. Because once people have a buy-in, it's easier for them to move forward. But if the monies are just flooded into the country without the buy-in from the people, without really letting them know, not only from their own little community point of view, but they must look at it and say, what I'm doing is not only for my community, but it's for my country, it's for my SADC region, and it's for my continent. Let people feel proud of what is going on. Let them understand that what I'm doing right now is actually a fight against the Chinese. It's a fight against the Europeans. So when we go to the world stage, we can stand up together as Africans and say, look what we have done. Just to the extent that the Chinese are proud of having built the China that they built. We too must have that spirit. So that spirit must be cultivated from a village level, from the country level, from sub-regional level, and ultimately to the continental level. So as the funds are being pushed into Africa, are we educating our people? Are we making our people feel proud of what they're doing and the effects of what they're doing, how it percolates to a better Africa, which is what we want? So yes, the bank is a good thing. It's a good starting point, and we can actually use it to benefit our participation. And by our, I mean us Africans, our participation in the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area. Great outcome, but it must be nurtured.
Well, you've been doing a real yeoman's job in the diaspora. Do you ever hope to come back to Africa someday and maybe run for office? Just joking. I mean, I'm just asking. Has it ever in mind?
I am not going to run for any office. The only office I would consider running is the chairman of the African Union Commission. That's it. Because I do feel that there is a need for a voice there. Right now, there is no voice. African Union is like a dead entity, and something needs to happen there. African Union is one entity that could speak on behalf of the continent, that could speak and call out those who are abusing Africa. It is the one place that we could actually let the world know that the exploitation and abuse of the African continent has got to come to an end. That voice is not there. That is the only place that I think I can make a difference. Besides that, no. I'm already in Africa, by the way. I spend half of my time in Africa now. I travel quite a bit, and I intend to continue to do so.
Well, may God bless and keep you in your travels. Thank you so much for coming on Hard Copy, Your Excellency, Dr. Arikana Chihombori Kwao.
Thank you for having me, my daughter. Keep up the good work. We are so proud of all the work that you guys are doing. We look forward to continued work as we build the Africa that we want, and as we also stand up on the tallest mountain and tell the world abuse and exploitation of Africa has got to come into an end. The revolution for Africa's liberation has arrived, and those who don't jump on the bandwagon, your days are numbered in Africa. Thank you.
Well, that's the program tonight. We hope to hear from you. And
that is Dr. Arikana. That woman has been speaking truth to power for a long time. I've been following her for a long time. That woman, we do need her at the head as president of the AU, fully supported 100%. This is what it's about. If we do not, who go talk for us? Who will speak for us if we don't speak for ourselves? These people just come and clean up our society. We don't say anything. Anyway, let me keep quiet for now.
But before I talk about Gabon, let me talk about the foolishness that France is displaying towards the Nigerian people. France cannot determine who should stay and who Niger should welcome into their country. It's not possible for France to make that determination as to who they, as France, want Niger to host and not to host. France has every right to do what they want to do. If they want, they can expel the Nigerian ambassador in France. But Niger has a right to expel an ambassador who is recalcitrant and disobedient and disloyal to the government of the Nigerian people. The France ambassador in Niger cannot determine who is president or leader in Niger. And so if there is a change of order and a new group of people are in place, and you don't want to respect the authority of that group, what it simply means is that you are not fit to be in their country as an ambassador to engage in any diplomatic relationship whatsoever. So that foolishness that is being displayed by France, or want to show muscle that they are a superpower and therefore they will determine to impose on the people of Niger the person that Niger does not want, should not stand. This is where you want the African Union to speak. This is where you want ECOWAS to speak. ECOWAS may have problems with the junta, but ECOWAS should not tolerate a situation where the junta is disrespected. I think that message must be sent in the loudest terms to France, that it cannot and it should not be. That you will determine. And they say, we don't want to deal with this ambassador. We invited the ambassador to meet with our new foreign affairs minister. The ambassador says, to hell, I don't recognize you. Who is that ambassador to recognize who should lead Niger?
Absolutely.
How is that done? That they are happy to have had somebody that was always kowtowing to the whims and caprices of France in the person of Bazoum. And because Bazoum is no longer there, and the new president, Chiani, will not tolerate the kind of decisions and position that Bazoum was engaging with France. You say you don't recognize his authority. Who are you? If the AU doesn't act, if the African Union doesn't act, if the ECOWAS doesn't act, in getting to France and say, look, France, leave this matter. It is our African issue. The people don't want you. Please step aside. Let us resolve our issue. ECOWAS is as useless. Now to Gabon. There's nothing like democratic coup d'etat. A coup d'etat in whatever form is a coup d'etat. And what did ECOWAS do? They have issued sanctions. They have stopped Gabon from participating in AU meetings. So what? We eat AU. Do we eat AU? You know my problem. The AU should be wiped out. In the current form, the AU has become like a civil service, where people see the AU as only an avenue for employment and taking salary. They take salary, and therefore they are content with what is happening. Because every month they take salary. You know how civil services, whether you go to work or not, you take salary. So you are interested in securing your salary. The AU cannot function as a salary receiving or earning outfit. The AU mandate must be that of seeking to ensure that Africa unites. The Organization of African Unity transformed to AU, or maybe later they will even take away the A and leave the U. Whatever form it is, the purpose is to see a continental government. The purpose is to see a continental currency. The purpose is to see a continental high command. The purpose is to see that the people of Africa benefit from the spoils of Africa. That should be the raison d'etre for which the AU has been established. For the AU to suddenly become a public or civil service where people go and then all they do is to earn income and speak Baluba, it's not acceptable. AU, you are issuing sanctions to what? To Gabon. You think that is the military leadership that the sanctions will impact on? It is the citizens of Gabon that may suffer. Like we did to Niger. ECOWAS said what? You have suspended Niger. You have closed your borders and whatever. In fact, before you can close your borders, Niger closed their borders because of your foolish threat. Today, onion prices have jumped out. Ghana import a colossal quantity of onion from Niger. Our market women cannot get the onion into our country. Prices of onions have gone up. It impacts me as well as you, because our wives, or we go to the market to go and buy onions for various purposes. Today when you go, that income, which is already too small, will have to go and buy onion at a higher price. It's Niger people that are suffering. You want to punish Niger. At the end of the day, you end up punishing yourselves. So when the AU say that you have imposed sanctions, you have done this, Gabon is, look, in the first place, European Union will not do anything with Gabon any longer. Not so. France will curtail its relationship with Gabon because they were comfortable with Odimba Bongo. They were comfortable. Not so. And so today that a new regime has taken place, they are not sure whether that regime, and in fact the regime has also taken anti-France stance. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
So anytime there is a new overthrow within the sub-region, the first thing is that they want to bend the French flag. They are tired of coming under France. And so this uselessness of the African Union and the Economic Community of West African States, this country, there is a coup d'etat. Instead of you to sit down to watch what is happening, you were happy. I listened to a journalist from Gabon. He said that what the Electoral Commission simply did was to somersault the results of the opposition for the ruling party. What did they do? They lost. The ruling party got about 33.3%. The opposition got 67.6% or so. Then the Electoral Commission just flipped the results of the opposition and said, Mr. President, you have won again. Everybody in the country knows about this. And the man is excited. Don't forget that the man who took over from him is his brother. In Africa, we don't have cousins. That is the brother. But the brother thinks that, look, this thing is much too much. Let's save our country. We cannot always be at the beck and call of France. Anytime France wants, they will treat you nicely because you are siphoning the wealth of your country for them. Then you are a good boy. And so no, a new political military is in town. And they say that enough.
Hmm. 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 Please, oh, you guys, please take the likes up. Oh. The likes are a bit low. Eh? Please, if you have not yet liked, Pico, like, oh, like, I beg, I dey beg una.
That is pauperizing our country and increasing poverty at a very dangerous level. Now, Comrade has started by referring to section 16. In fact, a subsection there says the economic system, the state shall ensure that the economic system is not operated in such a way as to concentrate.
Guys, please keep the likes going, I beg. Una dey vex. I know it's Friday, everybody's kind of relaxed mode. Biko Mona keep the likes. The likes are not, they're not reflecting at all. I beg now. You guys have been doing wonderful. Oh. Una dey vex for me today. Mona no vex. Okay, if I offend una, make una no vex. Mona no vex, abeg. Mona help me like. Mona help me like. Mona help me like, abeg. Biko, just keep the likes going, guys. Abeg. Mona no vex for me, oh.
The wealth of the country in the hands of a few or a group. Now, when Dangote was said to be building a refinery, and I've said it publicly, the government of Nigeria gave him land free. They call it free economic zone for themselves. All the machinery imported, free, at official rate, which is illegal. No duty was paid for the entire machinery, duty waiver. And the government went to the bank to take a loan of $2.7 billion to invest in the private sector. And they then said, we cannot fix our refinery. And that's the we challenge them. You said government have no business in business. Why are you funding a private enterprise? It was at that stage that they allocated $1.5 billion to fix Port Harcourt refinery, $1.4 billion to fix Kaduna and Warri refinery. Current President of Nigeria, please, I beg you, second assignment. You must get the relevant unions to monitor the ongoing rehabilitation of the refinery. Otherwise, these guys would divert the money criminally, as they have always done for the past 35 years. Secondly, those refineries are no longer enough for us. Refineries are being sold in Europe and America. The government must buy some of them and assemble them here so that we can earn money, revenue from our own natural resource. Government has spoken about solid minerals. Labor must also take cognizance of what is going on. They give licenses to individuals to go and mine and pay a pittance to the government. Sometimes you don't pay anything. I'm running a case where the government said, don't pay for 5 years. We want to encourage you from one block where they're mining gold in Elisha. And the company will make $500 million in 1 year. No tax. But the poor are asked to tighten their belt even when they are dying. Now, the second point, we may be gathered here discussing democracy. Democracy is under threat in Africa. Very serious. I'm sure you know what happened yesterday. You know what happened last month. And it's going to continue. Oh, there's no apology about it. I can predict with mathematical exactitude the next country, very close to us, that will experience instability. Where a man currently suffering from dementia, who has been in power since 1982, what did he do yesterday because of what happened Come on. Let me change the commander of the army. You are deceiving yourself. There was a coup. Attempted coup in 2019 in Gabon. The guy survived, but you know what has happened? Yesterday, he also suffers from stroke and dementia. He didn't know where he was. He said, I don't know where I am. But please help me. That is what they have reduced Africa to. You needed to have seen that guy when there was very insultingly their meeting, going to Europe to meet about Africa. Franco-Afro Summit. The guy couldn't walk. And none of his colleagues in the Club of African Dictators, African Union, none of them will say, gentlemen, why don't you resign and let a functional person take over the affairs of your country? This guy had stroke in 2009. With the wealth of that country, he couldn't establish a hospital. He was in Britain for years and then went to Morocco. Just like Ubuntu Seseko, 35 years in power, no hospital. Eyadema was being flown to Israel after 32 years in office. He couldn't fix a hospital like this. This gang of looters here. And that is what they have made of Africa. So please, I think Seun was talking about some comparison. Seun, up to 3 years ago, all the member states of ECOWAS were under one form of civil rule or another. Don't call them democratically elected. Civil rule. 3 years ago. But what has happened? We have recorded 4. The number is Chad. Now Gabon. They are all close to us. But what's the link between Nigeria and Chad and Gabon? How many Nigerians are there? If you must know. Many Nigerians are trading in Gabon. We have a lot of relationships. That country is one of the richest in Africa. It's the 5th largest producer of oil. The population is 2.3 million. Everybody should be living like a king. But the poverty rate is 33%. In that country, small country, the Mabongos, the Bongos, took over the country with their friends, buying riches there, houses all over the world, including France particularly. Nigeria has a GDP of 4,900 now as of 2020. Why Gabon? The per capita is $14,000. But why poverty rate? Why 40.1% of Nigeria live below poverty level? In Gabon, it's 33%. That's why you are the coup. And like I said, Senegal is the only country that has not experienced a coup in West Africa. But if care is not taken, that country will go under soon because you are the man. Macky Hall, who said he wanted a 3rd term. And people said, no, we chased out President Abdullah Wade, and you took advantage. Now you want a 3rd term. The people of Senegal have defeated him on the street. You know what he's doing now? He wants to plant his own agent. So the main opposition leader, he got him on a Trump charge of rape. He's in jail. So that country is in trouble. None of these guys, including those who are planning to invade Niger, none of them will say preventive diplomacy. Can we talk to these our colleagues to allow democracy in this country? One of them came here 2 weeks ago, and I was just laughing, from Central African Republic to pledge the loyalty of ECOWAS. The Central African Republic to say we are with you in invading Niger. We want democracy. In his country, the guy had just removed judges who told him it is illegal to work with us at Central African Republic, the country of Bokassa. Now, he removed the judges who gave that ruling and manipulated his way for a 3rd term. The guy in Côte d'Ivoire saying, Nigeria, please let us invade. Alassane Ouattara. You know how you imagine that the whole of Africa, the entire people of that country, over 3,000 people were killed for him to emerge. Now he's currently having his own 3rd term. And none of these guys condemn him. Twice now, ECOWAS has attempted to fix a term, 2 terms for president. In 2015, it was defeated by Togo and the Gambia. In 2022, last year, it was defeated by Togo, Senegal, and Cote d'Ivoire. Now, the guy in Togo also expects something soon. In Togo, he and his father have been in power since 1963. Just like this guy who has just been removed, he and his father have been in power for 56 years. Even if you are a traditional ruler, there are people who are waiting for you now. For you, one ruling house, we call them ruling houses. One ruling house can never be allowed to spend 56 years in the African traditional, political system. So why are these guys pretending that we are running a democracy? And from here, Honorable Senator, please be careful. Discipline Senator, be careful. Don't provoke Nigerians to mutiny. Please. Because some of the things going on there, we're in trouble. Sir, 70 billion naira for palliative for 469 people. And when we say no, they say no. It's for facelift of the National Assembly. No, sir. 3 years ago, 37 billion naira was the amount for facelift of the National Assembly. That contract has not been fully executed. There is no review of the contract. So you can't talk of 70 billion naira for facelift. Secondly, 40 billion naira to buy exotic cars now for leadership of the National Assembly. It's not going to be allowed. The latest provocative news from the National Assembly is that 54 billion naira has been earmarked for constituency project for 360 members of the House of Representatives. It has come to 150 million per person. Under these austere conditions in town. So when these figures are oozing out of the National Assembly, Nigerians are being provoked. And enemies of democracy are being provoked. The military has been honest to say we are under pressure. You didn't read it. To dismantle this rickety political system. But somebody told them go and deny it. And they denied it. Oh, we are not under pressure. But we can read the thing. And that is why we can't gather here talking of democracy that is under threat. That's number two. Number three, comrade lecturer, I agree with you. There are solutions to all this problem. So the immediate causes of coups in Africa today, third-hand syndrome, manipulation of constitution, military bases. You know, today, America has 29 military bases in Africa. France has 15. Soldiers are protesting because these members of these foreign bases are receiving salaries as if they are in their country. And they are living among the ordinary soldiers in Africa. So the soldiers are also protesting the differential treatment between them and these foreign troops. So we must look at that. And of course, I've told you the remote causes. The remote causes are the ruthless exploitation of the mineral resources of our country by Western companies. Lately, Chinese companies have joined them. They loot the treasury. Just like Comrade has said, $9 billion worth of gold smuggled out of Nigeria yearly. Not by the poor, but by the rich, with private jets and helicopters. And so, what do you expect? The people are getting poorer. And they're also destroying the land where they mine resources, just like oil. Sir, the oil thieves are known. You can quote me, and I want to be true, but Shell is one of them, the leading oil thief in Nigeria. Tompolo discovered recently, when the state has collapsed, you deal with non-state factors. The military could not trace oil thieves, so they had to give a contract to a private citizen, government Tompolo, the government in the area now. He discovered that an oil block, a pipeline stealing 40,000 barrels of crude oil per day for 9 years belongs to Shell. And Shell came out to say, we are not aware. No. Under the law, that is criminal negligence. But I also know that in the office of Shell, they have an application where they monitor what goes on in all their factories. And I suggested to the government, the Buhari government, with this discovery, can you please allow me, without charging Nigeria, to collaborate with some consortium of lawyers abroad for us to sue Shell for that act? Because to cheat an individual, you get a certain money. But to cheat a sovereign nation is 100%. So, and I told them, Nigeria can make $100 billion if we sue Shell for mining and stealing oil for 9 years. You know what I was told? I said, you know, it's difficult because some of our people are involved. I said, let Shell come and say that before. That we have other criminals who are not alone. But what is important for us, and I think that is the point the comrade has made, we must revisit this matter. Because the NSA, Mr. Nuhu Ribadu has just disclosed to us that 400,000 barrels are stolen daily. That cannot happen in a state, in a modern state that functions. When a state cannot guarantee peace, law and order, it's not fit to be a state. Now, the other point, sir, fact distribution. Please, comrade, I beg you. You must take note of this. In April this year, about 646 billion was shared by the three tiers of government. In July and August, over 900 billion naira. Over 900 billion. Yet, what have these people thrown? 5 billion per state. 5 billion per state. A state like Kano or Lagos. And 5 billion for Ekiti State or Zamfara State. The money is not meant for the poor. It's meant for the government. And that is why it has been given to them to manage. So we must ask questions. 5 billion from what? If you are now taking over 300 billion naira per month as a result of the increase in the prices of fuel. The other one, I thought Comrade was going to, yes, I think you touched it, the dollarization of the economy. Today, somebody asked me, the Judicial economy yesterday, I'm a lawyer. Why are you talking of dollarization? Dollarization is when a state adopts the dollar as a legal tender. I said, are you okay? In Nigeria today, the central bank has allowed the rich to sell properties in highbrow areas in dollars, to collect rents in dollars, school fees of some schools in dollars, charges for services by government in dollars, lawyers and some professionals charge fees now in dollars. Talking of big boys, oh, it's dollars. In the ongoing election petition, we don't take naira. Now, to bribe in Abuja now, you know it's in dollars, but you can't carry in naira. You know, you can't go through the bank. So it's easier to transact that criminality through the dollar. You are not aware. At the National Assembly, distinguished senator who agree with you. It's in dollars now. Now, no, you know why I know? Some people are charged for being in possession of dollars. They call it money laundering. So they come to us. So I know what I'm talking about. And you know that some, the PDP and APC conventions in Abuja here, delegates were paid in dollars. So you can't be carrying big money, naira, for them. The most dangerous aspect now is that tithes are paid in some churches in dollars. Oh yes. And then some musicians are sprayed in dollars. It happened in the villa recently. when the daughter of the former president was getting married, musicians were spread in dollars. So dollars has become the legal official tender, legal tender. Whereas Section 20 of the CBN Act has criminalized the act of spending dollars in Nigeria. But nobody has been arrested for spending dollars in our country. In fact, some government agencies now charge dollars for services and goods. So how do we come out to, how do we get to this mess? Because the rich wants to destroy our currency. The currency of a country is like your flag. You can go to war. But for them, the naira is no longer working. Because the IMF and World Bank discovered that Nigerians will fight devaluation of the currency. So they then sold the idea to the people in the central bank. Can you dollarize the economy so that devaluation will be true dollarization? So last week, you wanted to buy any particular good, and you have your money. I think it was fella that sang this song, very fast. And you plan your plan. He said you plan your plan finish. You want to go to market. By the time you had the budget, or by the time you get to the market, the thing has gone up. And that is what is going on. So all of us do not know that through the dollarization, goods and services are being increased quietly in Nigeria. You know, they deceived us 2 weeks ago. When the thing went to 950, oh, we are going to do something. So the central bank illegally took a loan of $3 billion. He said, please, I want to solve the currency. What is the business of a private company? The NNPC is no longer a parastatal. It's now NNPC Limited. And they deceived us. Oh, the thing will stabilize now. So for 1 week, it went to 780 a day. It's 780 officially. Meanwhile, they said, no other exchange rate now, apart from one. Today, black market, as of this morning, is 9.18 to a dollar. Yet, when you were teaching us, your generation of teachers, it was 60 kobo to $1. So we must begin to ask questions. Labor, it's no longer enough, sir, to go and ask for this money. Even if they pay you 200,000 naira as minimum, it's meaningless now. And that is why we must ask questions about the dollarization of the economy. The only solution, only one country accept. 5 years ago, the Central Bank of China and Nigeria sat down. Can we have currency swap? Whatever you buy there, naira. Whatever we do here, yuan. The Central Bank, quote me, I said it for you. IMF and World Bank said, no, don't allow it to work. So most Nigerians are not aware of that arrangement. Last year alone, we spent $22 billion for imports from China. In dollars, whereas we should have paid naira. And that would have reduced the exchange rate to something in the neighborhood of 300 to 500 naira. And we're supposed to do that with other countries. And that's what BRICS is about. BRICS. The BRICS, I'm sure you know the organization. They simply want to trade among themselves in their own national currencies. Nigeria said we have not joined up. We don't want to join. The cost of the rest. But I've told somebody in government, can you be more Catholic than the Pope? Saudi Arabia is in. Egypt is in. UAE is in. But Nigeria is still pretending. How can Nigeria be missing in Africa? Why you should be leading the campaign to get African countries to trade in their own currency. We have AFTA, African Free Trade Zone. We're supposed to have one currency in Africa, trade among ourselves. We're supposed to have ECO in ECOWAS. France says no. Why countries like Nigeria insisted? France said no problem. We are now taking over the ECO. France has taken over ECO because they control a country there. Now, what do we now do? Is to say we have taken over ECO. So whether we like it or not, we are going to impose our condition, which is that the ECO currency will be traded in France. And all your foreign reserves will be banked by the Bank of France. Of course, Nigeria will not agree. So they cannot have one currency. the dollar is the currency for everybody. Now, the other point, please, for NSC, I want to beg you. It's no longer enough to ask for better minimum wage. Comrade has mentioned it, and I'm going to advise you. There are laws you have fought for to improve the conditions of workers and the poor in Nigeria. And laws have been passed, comrade, following Chapter 2 of the Constitution. It's no longer correct to say Chapter 2 is not justiciable. Laws have been passed to actualize Chapter 2. The National Minimum Wage is one of them. National Minimum Wage Act. People's Banks Act, to give loans to the poor without collateral. They themselves took loans, and they were going to collapse the economy. How was that after your The rich are owing the country 5.4 trillion today, 370 of them. So when they didn't allow People's Bank to come to be re-established, I went to court. I got a judgment in 2012. Go and establish this bank for the poor. They refused to do it. We have the Child Rights Act in Abuja and Child Rights Law in the state. Under those two laws, every Nigerian child shall be educated up to junior primary school, free of charge by the Nigerian state. So, comrade, we have to make sure that every Nigerian child, 20 million Nigerian children are on the street. That is where the terrorists recruit, bandits recruit, armed robbers and the rest of them. So if we get these laws implemented, there will be little or nothing to steal by these guys. But these are the laws they have made. You have the Pension Reforms Act. It must work. National Housing Act. They deduct money of workers every month. But they are spending about 100 billion. We need to take this up. You have the National Health Insurance Act, that everybody should have insurance, health insurance. You have National Health Insurance Authority Act for the elderly in Nigeria. Once you are over 60, you are entitled to health insurance by law. You have other laws, discrimination against persons with disability, 2018. That law provides that all physically challenged people shall be educated by the state from primary to secondary school, senior secondary school, free of charge. So, comrade, we must set up a committee that will ensure the implementation of this law, so that when you are talking of minimum wage, there are ways of ensuring that you don't spend all your minimum wage on services for your family that will not be sufficient. They now say that our last two people, our take home cannot take us home. It's only when we have these laws implemented that your take home will be able to take you home. The last point is on public interest litigation coming. We're engaged in a number of public interest litigation, but you are dealing with a government, a ruling class that has no regard for rule of law. Sarah, an NGO, has got a judgment to the fact that since 1999, all the government must account for the $5 billion recovered from Abacha and the family. The government has ignored the law. Sarah has got a judgment that those funny pension for governors, the Attorney General should ensure that all those governors do not collect double pension. There are people in the National Assembly, in the Senate, former governors, who are collecting the stupendous allowances in the National Assembly, who are also collecting pension in their state. 3 states, Lagos, Abuja, Lagos, Rivers, and Kwara, have pension schemes that you cannot find anything like it in any part of the world. You know the details? If you govern in Lagos, Port Harcourt, or even for 4 years, you're entitled to a house in the state capital and a house in Abuja worth about 2 billion naira. 2 for your life, even if you are 40 or 36, for life. you and your family will be entitled to free medical treatment at home and abroad. For life, you will earn the salary of a sitting governor. For life, they will replace your cars, about 3 cars, once in 3 years. For life, you will have about 8 security personnel to guide you and your family. Now, I have told the governor, if you go like this, by the time Lagos has produced 20 governors, from Akwa Ibom, there will be no money for development. Once you are paid the pension of 20 former governors, and that is why Labour must please join this campaign. From the action of the civil society group, the Progressive Faction, Samfara, Imo, and Kwara have abolished the pension scheme. So we must get other state governments to abolish the pension scheme so that everybody is under the Pension Reform Act. It's no way.
My people. Oh, Coco Bioko. Ah, now wow. I have one question. Yeah, I have one question for Mr. Femi Falan. So I have yet to hear him talk or speak on the the fraudulent sham of an election that Nigeria had. I'm yet to hear from him. Why is it that as the movement is getting heated, as everything is getting heated, everybody seems to be finding their voices. Everybody seems to be locating their voice. I'm just curious. Now, question I ask you. You know all these things, sir, and you keep it to yourself. We don't know. You are very good at speaking. You are an orator, can tell. But you didn't say anything. Now you are saying all of this. So you've known that these things have been happening. My question is, where have you been since? Why have you not told this story and made it as public as ever? Why now? Because una see say the movement is getting heated by the day. People are no longer backing down. So you feel the need to come out and be talking. We are glad though. I mean, I can't say I'm happy that all these things are coming out so that people will see how much these people have wrecked Nigeria, how much they have wrecked it completely without any type of remorse whatsoever. Anybody when they wishful thinking, they say, oh, you know, Nigeria. Because one time I was in a space recently and somebody was saying that they don't want to talk about the election anymore. As far as they are concerned, they've moved on. They don't want to talk. I think it was Wike that started it. So the person was saying the same thing, that you know, they don't want to talk about the election anymore. It is over. So nobody should talk about the election anymore. Oh God, I just laugh. I said, I don't want to talk about the election anymore. Of course. But guess what? Those of us when we dey hold on to that election, we hold on like iodide glue. We will not stop talking about it. We refuse to stop talking about it. We're not going to stop talking about it until they give us what it is, eh, that was stolen from us. We will not stop talking about it. We won't. Eh? Make I play one video for now. Make everybody hear this video. Let them be ready to attack. We sef dey here now. And that victory, I've had that on my mind. I'm like, I'm so, in a way, it's not like I'm enjoying the situation Nigeria is in right now, but in a way, I'm glad that everybody is feeling it. And everybody is seeing how silent some people have been, how suddenly some people have lost their voices. Instead of them to stand up for the truth, they are not standing. Where they're supposed to protest, they're not protest. When it was Jonathan, they were protesting subsidy. Now petrol, now to come and add insult to injury is now dollar. They have Shebi, I shared a video. I think I shared a video, whether it was on Twitter, I shared it or where. Somebody came under my comment. I was saying fake news. Oh, but see, now not be dollar. I say they not be the don't they use sense. They slide into. They don't even slide down. There's non dollar. Now they won't make the national currency for Nigeria. Can you imagine that? Behind while people are sleeping, now waiting that they do be that. Do you understand? So personally for me, I'm kind of happy that things have gotten bad to the point where it is beyond redemption, as it seems. So when Peter Obi comes in, I dare any MF that will come out and come and start attacking the man while he's working. Are they here for them? I'm telling you, because I have it in my mind. I'm like, you know what, these people, I see you. I see all of you. I see all of you. All those people that were active during Jonathan's time. All those people that defended this evil, demonic activity. I dare them to come at that time. Are they here? Fire for fire. Now we go to give them for you. Are you kidding me? With this mess? When Peter Obi comes and he's as far as say the man they walk. Oh my God. As far as say the man they work, we go dey come here come dey present the work. Anybody wey get any different, because they see everybody, they see, plus the ones wey they do ethnic bigotry before the election. Some when they talk say God forbid for them to vote for Peter Obi. Oh my God, they see all of them. I want see whether they go suddenly gain their voices when this man become president, because there's no way this man is not becoming president. There's no way. He's going to take. We are collecting that mandate. I want to see, because my own eyes are peeled to the ground, because the double standards, the hypocrisy. This election open my eye. E open my eye. I be dey sleep before. I don't know as e bad. This election come open my eye well. Hey! I reserve my comments. Until then, I want to see something. Make I play this short clip for now. Apparently there was a be like say
given without my knowledge, without my involvement in any way. And I have complained separately on the 15th day of August 2023 at the National Executive Committee meeting in the presence of every national officer seated here. The president brought down a sledgehammer on me and said he does not require to consult or get the consent of my office to be able to run the financial affairs of this institution. Said that in an expo meeting. I therefore think that if that is the part he has decided to show respectfully, then I am not the fit and proper person to stand before you and sign any financial documents or stand here and give you a financial report. The NBA treasurer is not a member of the CCB. The NBA treasurer is not a member of the finance committee. The NBA treasurer is not a member of the stabilization fund committee or any committee that has to do with the finances of the organization. How do I do my job? Financial memos are not routed through my office. They are routed through the office of the secretary, and the president approves. I have severally mentioned this. The president, the GS in his wisdom, I want to believe, decided to put an apostrophe and make sure that memos are routed to the secretary of the treasurer, as if the office of the treasurer is a subset of the office of the GS or the president. I was elected by you all, and I promised under oath to do my best and to give you the best. And should you give me a further platform, I will serve you, but I will do so truthfully. It does not align with my conscience. It is incongruous of me to stand here and tell you that this is the financial position. It may be, but I do not know, because I wasn't involved, I wasn't informed, it wasn't put together by me, and I will not disrespect you by standing here to give you unknown figures because I do not know the true financial position of this association.
Everybody is coming out and telling the truth. This woman is a treasurer of the Nigerian Bar Association. Suddenly they bring document, financial document for her to sign. You don't know who prepare am. It is supposed go through am o. Na president of NBA. Una remember e dey pali when I think they asked him about the election, the sham election. He is an APC boy. Okay. On top of that, during I think it was their bars, this same meeting that they are doing, they invited Portable, my people. They invite Portable, make come sing. Oh God, Agberos. They want turn lawyers to Agbe. Well, some of them are Agbero anyway. For FFK, for Food Kayode and Keyamu, are they not Agberos? Oh, these people. No, in a way, I'm happy things are unfolding the way they are unfolding, because Nigerians, omo, hey, who follow Nigerians? The hypocrisy, it stinks to the high heavens for Nigeria. It's not just the politicians, so I'm not just talking about the politicians. To the Okada man, hypocrisy. The work when we need to do for that country, not be here. Not be here, I'm telling you. Una see the video of the girl when throw away her baby for inside the river. Everybody, some people dey castigate the girl, dey talk say the girl this one that one. Omo, that girl is not mentally okay. She's not all there. Person wey no get money to chop, not know how to feel. You think say na clear eye she take go do that thing? Ah, hey, God abeg. Hey, oh, my people, I'm going to share my link. I don't want to talk too much because I have the anger that is inside of me. If I use am talk, I no wan make dem shut down this video. So anybody that has anything to add, una come add. Wetin me know be say Judiciary has a date with destiny. It's up to them. Everybody dey get date with destiny. That's the truth. Because whether they bribe themselves to enter the position to become justices, whether na mago they take put them for there, whether na who know who they take put them for there, they shall as judges and justices. And now push has come to shove. The moment of truth has finally come. The question now is, are they ready to make a name for themselves forever? Or do they want to take sides with the few 1,000 people or over 200 million people? That is the question. Personally, una know my stance. I don't trust the judiciary. Heck, I don't give a hoot about the judiciary. Personally, I'm not waiting for the judiciary. Left to me, it's been action time since February 25th. That's just me. I can't speak for anybody else. Me, I've been sick and tired of talking since after February 25th. But I'm only one person, okay? So if judiciary likes, let them not do the job that they swore on oath that they will do, to preserve, to be just, to be fair, to fight for the common man. Let them not do it. Everybody's time will come. Abi? Make dem not do am. If they like make dem do the needful, they like make dem not do the needful. Me, I no dey beg them before I not send their papa. Because if to say not be their ineptitude, we no go get criminals when they waka, they strut their stuff on the streets of Nigeria. They're not go dey waka up and down. Somebody like Ibori, they recommend person to Agbado. Hey God! Nigeria matter, e dey put fire inside my belly. I dey wake up, I go dey vex. I no dey know why I dey vex. Nigeria matter. Hey, no, I didn't see the story, Okene. The East West Road, I didn't see that one. Oh, all the billions, na part of wetin we dey, all the billions, nothing has been done. Wetin dem don do, all the, even wetin dey call that road, Ore road, not many. I think it was one guy they gave that project to that time, if I remember. Can't remember his name now. Is it Babalaki? I think it's Babalaki, one Babalaki guy they gave. Road did not repair, money, voicemail. Voicemail. I don't even want to, that weekend matter, I no wan even bother with am. It's a waste of time. Payday is coming for wike, make e dey there. Pay, you see that mouth wey e take talk am, that same mouth you go use am swallow those words. Una wan bet, una wait, no be wike. Oh my god, loud mouthed uncontrollable people like that, person wey dey drink, who knows whether he knows the time of day it is? Who knows? We go see, na here we dey now. Judgment time is coming, the D-Day is coming near, no problem. Everybody is tired. Everybody is, you know what? Okpai na kpai. Let everybody go in front. I don't know about you people, oh, but you see this Nigeria matter, there is no way anybody can close. If you're a Nigerian, if you are closing your eye to what is going on in Nigeria, you are a problem. You are the problem. You are part of the problem we are trying to get rid of. I'm telling you. You cannot pretend as if you don't know what's going on. You cannot pretend and close your eyes to the sufferings of the people on ground. You cannot. But if you pretend, if you choose not to be bothered, hey, everybody gets your own. Hey, do your own. Everybody do their own. But you see this D-Day, there's no way it cannot be escaped. It cannot be escaped. In a way, me, I'm happy that Nigeria is not part of the BRICS. I'm telling you guys. I know some people will feel kind of way about it. I am very happy. Now that man, raggedy man, I won't go represent you for BRICS. Wetin you wan follow dem discuss? Mo na tell me. That man wey no know where he dey, he's not oriented to time or place. He no know wetin dey happen. Now you want me to go represent you for BRICS? So that a new set of people will come take advantage of you. No, I don't even want them to join BRICS. Imagine, because of BRICS, na make dem say no, dem no dey join. Na make dem, because dem wan collect dollar. You see, truth don come out. The truth is coming out back to back. They can't control it anymore. Meanwhile, this man's result, they bring out the alumni of 1979 for Chicago. Agbado picture not dey inside. E no dey inside the picture. So that means Agbado no go. In fact, there was a letter when you can read the letter for now. I think it was an investigation that was done a while back. During that time, let me see if I can find the letter. No, no verse. I won't read the letter from here too. I'm glad I didn't delete it. This one is US Department of Justice, FBI, 2011. Now they say I send this letter. They send her to the executive chairman, Mrs. Farida Waziri. Okay? Attention, Bala Sanga, principal of state staff officer, 5 Fonella Street, PMB 166, Wuse 2, FCT Abuja, Nigeria. Mr. Sanga, I hope this letter finds you and your colleagues at the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission well. We appreciate your continued cooperation and assistance in matters of mutual interest. I wanted to respond to your request for information made to the Federal Bureau of Investigation on January 4, 2011 regarding former governor of Lagos State, Agbado, and his enrollment and graduation from Chicago State University. Per your verification with the Chicago State University's Registrar Office and its official response to our inquiry, Agbado was not enrolled as a student this or any term at the referenced educational institution. Now they hear, should you have any questions relating to this information, we provide the number. Now they hear. Oh, Exactly, exactly. I'm even glad. Look, we not join the groups. We don't have the. There's no need to join anything because that man does not know what he's doing. He's not. He does not know what he's doing. He doesn't. Guys, let's keep it. Let's keep keeping our eyes on the judiciary. And please, oh, if you're on social media, I want you to use your hashtags. Abeg, free Chike Ibezim. The guy dey go arrest am na him brother dem dey look for, na him dey see, na him dey go arrest. Abeg una, make una use una social media. Na because of Fashola o, na him dey arrest the boy. Okay, please use your hashtags, let dem release that boy for goodness sake. Let dem release him. Abeg, make una use una hashtag. I don't understand. You see why we have to stand? They just dey lock people up anyhow. Wetin dat boy do? Na him brother na dem dey look for, na him dey go carry. See the demonic Fashola, shame on Fashola. Na that one dem dey call san. Can you imagine? Senior advocate of nonsense. He only has energy for small people. Senior advocate of rubbish and nonsense. Na those people be. E no go ever better for them o. I'm telling you, they are sowing terrible seeds for their descendants unless they don't have children. But if they do, oh my God, cha, they will not be here, unfortunately. They will not be here to see the end of the suffering of their descendants yet unborn. Things go dey affect them as e dey affect them spiritually, na so e go dey affect them physically, na so e go dey affect them psychologically. Then it will never be well with them and their generation. My people, let me end it here o, abeg, before I start to dey vex o. Make I end am for here, ma save my whatever I have to say. Kene, thank you very much for the video. I appreciate it. Victory, thank you. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. Atlantic was here also. Motown, thank you. Amaka, long time, thank you. I appreciate you all. Blessing, thank you very much. Miss B, thank you. My sister Jo, I appreciate you. Thank you all for joining. Please, oh, don't forget to like on your way out. As una no dey give me super chat again now. Make una dey help me. So una be dey do well oh for this super chat. I no understand. All of a sudden, una just start to dey egba me. Come like say I come dey beg una every time. Come on now, guys. Una know now. Una no dey give super chat again. Abeg, make una at least dey like the video to give am the boost when e need. Una no make this village big pass as e be so. This village is needed though. We need to be building our communities. If una no boost the village, make it dey big dey go. How we want to transform our communities? My people, una no do me like this now. Every time una go come dey make me dey shout, dey shout, dey shout. Una no do me like this. At least make una like am, make una share am. Invite your people, invite your friends. Make the village, because work dey for Nigeria to do. Work dey as Kene dey now. Kene from here na go create im own village. E go be the town crier for the village square when im go create. Mr. Guy Owanlele na so. Victory na so. Everybody go from here comot go form their village physically. Abeg, we need a lot of unlearning needs to take place. The brainwashing no be here. There's so much we have to unlearn. If we no do am, who go do am? We gotta do it for ourselves. We have to fix it for ourselves. We don't build other people countries. Heck, our ancestors don't build Europe, build West, build everything. Now our own, now we not fit get power to build. We need to take back our power and build. And my people, see, when Peter Obi comes in, everybody should start thinking of going back home. I'm telling you, people really need to start seriously considering it. You gotta start making your moves back home. Your energy is needed. Your resources, your knowledge, your skill is needed. Not think say, oh, because I'm not one big shot, I don't have PhD, I don't have masters. All those things don't matter. You have skills that you can offer. Seriously, start to think about it. Mr. Guy Walele, I don't want Agbado billion. God for swear, God forbid. No be that. All money no be good money. Leave that. I can make money on my own. Biko, if na that one. On the super chat na just to support, nothing else. You not be saying no, I know they take and do anything. Eh? So abeg o, God forbid. I no want that kind money. Femi, long time, welcome, good to see you. What Agbado cannot corrupt does not exist. I'm telling you, anything he touches, e dey bad. Everything, that man get bad head, bad luck dey follow. That man wear bad luck like agbada and cap. From head to toe, inside and spiritually, physically, psycho, everything is bad luck. E reeks. See na, as e enter back to back coups. I won't be surprised tomorrow. 2 coups will happen tomorrow. I'm telling you, back to back. I will not be surprised. That's how bad it is. From his effect. The fact that they know that this man, everybody just they change hand up and down. He has corrupted CSU. Yeah, let's pray it doesn't corrupt. If you let me corrupt the judge, not be inside that country we all day, everything go end now. So there's no need. If you like, if they like, let them allow themselves to be corrupted. Eh? Imagine a whole state university, Chicago, some people go, they both say they go. The man don't use him hand, spoil am. People go, they question everything about that CSU now. If na me be their registrar, go don make statement, throw the man under bus. I don't care how much money. The money wey e don give, you don enter voicemail. And then sabi, dem be part of the problem. All of una wanna dey vote for this side, for where we dey so. Mona correct una head, mona know una dey vote for. If we no dey alright for our place, why since dem dey cause the katakata for where we dey, we no need to close eye to wetin we dey do for here o. Una know wetin I mean. I no use all my mouth talk. Una know wetin una dey do. Exactly. He would need everybody around him. Thank you, Mr. Guy Wanlele. You understand what I'm saying? I'm telling you, he will need every energy, all the good energy around him. He can't. We have to start thinking seriously about that. We really, really have to. As I did so already, I need to go dey sell food first of all. I'm telling you, as they do me. When I move, once Peter Obi enter and I met that, I'll just first go dey sell food, open restaurant. And all this so that I go feel, to find something at least to first use my back, take rest. I'm telling you, anything, cafe, something, to be doing something in the meantime while you're, prepping to do whatever it is you need to do. Be an active citizen. And some of us here need to really seriously start thinking about getting in the House of Reps, we need to come together and say, okay, let's look for people that we can appoint for those positions and push them. Because remember, we have to have a voice on ground. It's not good that we do not have a voice. How can we are the ones who send the most money back home, but we don't have a voice in our affairs? Is that not mind-boggling? I don't know if anybody thinks about it, but we really need to be thinking about that. We need to start thinking about people, come together and talk, and come together and think about people that we can position to be a voice for us on the ground. We can't be removed from all of these things. That's part of the problem, because on ground, a lot of people don't really know, the way to go about it. But some of you that have lived here long enough, understand the system, can go back and help start to make the system work. It's very important to have more dey think am o, not be just to talk. We need to really have people on the ground for real. If you're interested, please make it known. Abeg, we need am. No, abeg o, no be me o, biko. That's my name and that person name in the same sentence. Mbanu, I no gree. Dark force, dark skies, negative energy, evil energy. Everything about him is evil. Dark. only God knows it don't swallow in the. Oh my God! I don't know if anybody can speak Yoruba here, but I'm going to play it anyways. This guy blew the roof off about, like, he has knowledge of Agbado's background. This guy here, right here, but now Yoruba is speak. So anybody who knows how to speak Yoruba, in the comment section, if you can interpret, me I'm not too, my Yoruba is a bit rusty. The one I feel introduced, I will introduce. So here it says Balogun Eko, history on how the name Bola Ahmed Tinubu came to be. If you don't understand Yoruba, look for someone who does. Okay, so hey, whoever speaks Yoruba in the comment section, I beg, help us to interpret.
Ìní ni ọjọ́ pé tí mo fẹ́ sọ bí Tinubu bó ṣe ṣẹ̀ wá.
Okay, so he says today is the day. Today is the day for him to tell the story of how the name, how the person of this Bola Ahmed Tinubu came to be. Okay?
Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu, ìní ni mo fẹ́ sọ bí ó ṣe ṣẹ̀ wá. Ṣé rí Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu orúkọ ẹ̀kọ́.
Femi, abeg, help us interpret in the comment section, abeg. Please. This is very important. I'm glad I remember this video.
Ẹni tí Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu tó lo orúkọ ẹ̀, ọmọ bàbá K.O. Tinubu ni. Bàbá K.O. Tinubu is Kafaru Olúwọlé Tinubu. Ó bí àkọ́bí obìnrin. Àkọ́bí ẹ̀ obìnrin yẹn ó ṣaláìsí ìgbà tí Tinubu tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní ọ̀dọ̀ bàbá ẹ̀. Màmá Tinubu ò kì í ṣe ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ ní ọ̀dọ̀ Abibat Mogaji o. Màmá Tinubu ò ṣe ọmọ ọ̀dọ̀ Abibat Mogaji. Tinubu ló ṣiṣẹ́ ní ọ̀dọ̀ K.O. Tinubu, that is Kafaru Olúwọlé Tinubu. Ọlọ́pàá ni bàbá yẹn, lọ́yà dẹ̀tún ni. Ọlọ́pàá ni ní Old West ní ayé ìgbà yẹn. Tinubu ṣiṣẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀, Tinubu dẹ̀ mọ ọmọ ẹ̀ tó kú yẹn. Ní under ìgbà yẹn, ní during ìgbà yẹn ni Tinubu travel. Ó fi orúkọ ọmọ yẹn ó change. Orí ẹ̀ yẹn títà yẹn ló change sí Ahmed because obìnrin lọ́mọ yẹn. Ṣé mọ̀ pé wọn kì í tẹ̀ka, kò dẹ̀ sí biometric, obìnrin ni. Ṣùgbọ́n Bọ́lá Tinubu mú orúkọ ẹ̀ ó lọ fi ṣe pálí, so wọ́n á lè fi pé ọmọ Tinubu ni, ó lọ fi gba visa. Gbogbo ala mọ̀ bí irú nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń lọ, ṣùgbọ́n òun change àárín orúkọ ọmọ yẹn, ó change ẹ̀ sí Ahmed. So Bọ́lá yẹn orúkọ obìnrin ni. Àwọn tó mọ̀ díẹ̀ wọ́n wà láyé, àwọn tó dẹ̀jọ́ tó wọ́n ti kú. Àwọn tó jọ tó lọ́jọ́ náà lọ́hùn, ìyá Abibatu Mogaji, bàbá K.O. Tinubu, bàbá kí lórúkọ ẹ̀, Múrí Òkúnlá, àwọn ló mú Tinubu lọ sí iwájú Wahab Fọláwíyọ láti lọ fi Quran búra pé ọmọ bíbí inú àwọn ni. Bàbá kan wá wà tó jẹ́ olórí ẹbí àwọn Tinubu, NS Tinubu ló ń jẹ́, òun ló lórí ẹbí wọn. Wọ́n mú Tinubu náà lọ sí ibẹ̀. Bàbá yẹn náà sọ pé ọmọ bíbí inú àwọn ni. Lọ́jọ́ náà lọ́hùn, àwọn tó bá wà láyé wọ́n á testify sí nǹkan tí mo ń sọ yìí. Ó ra Mercedes fún bàbá yẹn. Mercedes tó rà fún bàbá yẹn, Shagari type, oní stretch yẹn ló rà fún bàbá olórí ẹbí NS yẹn. Gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Tinubu wọ́n máa gbọ́ nǹkan tí ń sọ yìí. Gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Tinubu original ni mo ń sọ yìí o, wọ́n máa gbọ́ nǹkan tí mo ń sọ yìí. Bàbá yẹn lo stretch Mercedes 200, Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu ló rà fún. Ìgbà tí bàbá yẹn mú wá, Kafaru tó mú Tinubu wá, ó lọ́mọ òun ni. Ṣé lè mọ̀ pé àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ pé bàbá yẹn bí ọmọ Tinubu, but ọmọ bàbá yẹn ti ṣaláìsí. Ó lọ́mọ tóun bí síta ni. Bàbá yẹn ló bí àwọn Dèjì Ọ̀hándò pẹ̀lú ìkejì ẹ̀. Ṣé wá rí bàbá yẹn náà, ẹ lọ wo history àwọn tó bá wà tọmọ bàbá yẹn dáadáa, ìyẹn Kafaru yẹn ó live bí ọba ni. Kíní ló ń gbé ibi Purple Street níbi ibi tí shrine Fẹlá wà. Ó wá kúrò ńbẹ̀, ó wá sí Adé Ọlọ́dẹ́kùn. Ilé tó gbẹ̀yìn sí Adé Ọlọ́dẹ́kùn tí Zenith Bank wà, ilé bàbá yẹn nìyẹn. Ó move láti ibẹ̀ yẹn, ó move wá sí ibẹ̀ yẹn, lọ́ọ̀yà ni. So ìgbà tí wọ́n fa gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ yìí, bàbá kan wà, Rafiu Tinubu, òun ni head of service. Kò lè sọ̀rọ̀ torí pé ó wà lọ́ndà Tinubu. Ìgbà tí Tinubu kúrò, bàbá yẹn kúrò, bàbá yẹn jáde, ó ní kò kí n ṣe ẹbí àwọn, páwọn ò mọ̀ rí. Gbogbo àwọn ẹbí Tinubu tó jọ original, wọn láwọn ò mọ̀ rí. Ṣùgbọ́n bàbá Kàfárò yẹn ní ọmọ òun ni, but everybody deny. Ṣé rí Kẹ́mi Nelson tó ń pè ní Yèyé Ṣẹwà, màmá Kẹ́mi Nelson ní Tinubu ni, tó bá wà láyé òun náà deny pé Ahmed Bọ́lá Tinubu kò kí n ṣe bí àwọn ò mọ̀. Ṣé wá rí bàbá tó mú wá yẹn, ọlọ́pàá ni bàbá yẹn, ìyẹn Kàfárò yẹn tó lọ́mọ òun ní Tinubu. Gani Fáwáyìmí, ìgbà tí Tinubu fẹ́ contest, orúkọ yẹn ni Tinubu fi ṣe senator. Ìgbà tó wá fẹ́ di ṣe governor ló ní problem pẹ̀lú orúkọ yẹn. Gani Fáwáyìmí ní kí ó lọ mú àwọn document ẹ̀ wá, because wọ́n mọ̀ kó ṣẹ̀wọ̀n l'Amẹ́ríkà, pé ló wà ní 5 years ago. Wọ́n wá competition, wọ́n kọ sí ọ́fíìsì Ọbásanjọ́. Ní under Ọbásanjọ́, àwọn petition tó kọ orí tébù Àtíkù Abubakar ni ó ń dé sí. Wọ́n wá kó ní time yẹn àwọn tí wọ́n ní kọ́ lead investigation pé ọlọ́pàá, iṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá ni kọ́ lọ investigate. Lára àwọn tíìmù yẹn òun ni Rilwan Akiolu wà. Ìgbà tí Rilwan Akiolu ó meet Bọ́lá Tinubu, wọ́n jọ bára wọn sọ̀rọ̀. Rilwan Akiolu ní kò kí ń ṣe iṣẹ́ òun, ọwọ́ ọ̀gá òun Musiliu Smith níṣẹ́ yẹn wà. Ibi tí bàbá Musiliu Smith yẹn tóun náà ti gba àbọ̀dì fún Èkó yẹn nìyẹn. So wọ́n fà pẹ̀lú Funsho Williams nígbà yẹn ní àwọn bàbá yẹn, ìyá Abibat Mogaji, K.O. Tinubu àti Múrí Okunọlá àti Fẹ́mi Òkúnnù, wọ́n lọ fi Quran búra pé ọmọ àwọn ní Bọ́lá Tinubu. Àwọn yẹn ikú rédèrèdè lọ́kú. Fẹ́mi Òkúnnù yẹn ó yìí wà láyé. So Tinubu Rilwan Akiolu ìgbà tó wà lọ́lọ́pàá, òun ló ó wà lára àwọn tíìmù tó ní kó investigate Bọ́lá Tinubu. Wọ́n wá lọ bá IG Musiliu Smith. True yẹn wọ́n fi bá Àtíkù sọ̀rọ̀. Látọ́ bá Àtíkù sọ̀rọ̀, gbogbo fáìlì yẹn wọ́n jẹ́ kó déwájú Ọbásanjọ́. Wọ́n tẹ gbogbo fáìlì yẹn, wọ́n tẹ̀rìn. Ibẹ̀ ni Bọ́lá Tinubu àti Àtíkù lọ ti pàdé ara wọn. Ṣé wọ́n ti pé wọ́n jọ fọ́ọ̀mù AD ni?
Okay, let me try. So this part that he's saying is very critical. So he said that Agbado, right, one of the stretch limousines or Mercedes Benz that one of these old maybe Tinubu family people was using, one Baba, it was Agbado that bought it for him. Now that they took Agbado to meet Muri Okunla or whatever, and the rest of them, you guys shahed the name, that they made him swear by Quran that indeed he is a son from the Tinubu family. Okay? Now it looks like he had sorted all of them out. That was why he could lie that lie. Now, they had started investigating. Gani Fáwáyìmí stepped in when Agbado wanted to become governor. They had started, so they had, sent out policemen to start investigating about who this man is and where he's from, right? The police that was supposed to be investigating is one of the men he mentioned that now joined with the Agbado team, okay, at that time. So the file that they had, the person that they presented it to at that time he came to the office of Atiku Abubakar. Oh, brilliant. Hey, God bless you. Give us our mandate. You just came to save me. I'm trying to explain. Welcome. Give us our mandate. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Omoye, good evening. How are you doing today?
Good evening. I don't know if you heard this from the beginning. Did you start hearing it from the beginning?
No, I didn't hear it from the beginning, but I think what I met from his mouth
Okay.
Was what I
So
was
let me
saying.
let me start afresh so that maybe you can help us. Let me know when to stop because this is very important information.
Yeah, but I think to what he said towards
Uh-huh.
the end about Obasanjo,
Uh-huh.
it was just coincident because I was talking to a Ghanaian friend, a Ghanaian co-worker today at work.
Uh-huh.
Obasanjo is one of our problem.
Yes.
Now, one thing is Obasanjo and others would have tamed Tinubu. Now, pay attention. 1999, when this guy came up, Ganify of blessed memory, Festus Otokokayamo. Now, Obasanjo was in a better position to have tamed Tinubu. But Obasanjo, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know what, maybe, I don't know, but he was also drunk of power, trying to go for third term. So all of his own personal agenda made him lose sight. Although Obasanjo, we may say, I mean, he himself is not different from these people, but Obasanjo has a clean slate to an extent. So he would have tamed this guy. What we are seeing today was the fact that most of these people that have the opportunity to have tamed this drug baron, they fail in their agenda, they fail in their call and duty to nation and nation building. Because if they have brought this guy down ever since, we won't be where we are today. So go ahead and play that video. It was just coincident. I mean, I was talking to a Ghanaian person at work today, and what this man said just confirmed what I was telling that guy, that Obasanjo was in a better position to have sent Tinubu to jail ever since, and that was the noise of Ghanifying him. Festus Keyamo, and people should pay attention tonight. Festus Keyamo. See, now when Wike was speaking about God, Wike was not talking about the Almighty God. Wike was talking about Mammon, and that was what Festus got from Tinubu. Now, why do you think Fashola could not succeed in his agenda to have brought Tinubu down? Because of Tinubu had the dirt on Fashola. Fashola, like this guy, the former governor, what is his name again now? Before Sowolu, I forgot his name now.
What's his name?
I forgot that guy's name.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. That guy.
He only spent 4 years, I think.
God bless you. Why did he spend 4 years? Because he was not serving the bidding of Tinubu. Now, Fashola did the same thing. But what Tinubu did, organize a lady for Fashola. That was the dirt that Tinubu had on Fashola. Fashola is a senior advocate of Nigeria. Fashola, in the beginning.
Ambode, thank you,
God bless
Angels.
you. Yes,
Ambode.
Ambode will not smell second time because he did not do the bidding of Tinubu. The reason why Sanwo-Olu is where he is today, and all of those orals and all of this nonsense they did in Lagos, is because he did the bidding of Tinubu. Fashola would have been in a better position to have silenced this guy or do everything to make sure that Tinubu never get anything against Lagos. But Tinubu played Fashola, sent a lady to him, rubbished Fashola. They have a video on Fashola.
Yeah, was it not with this actress? What's her name?
God bless you. So they have a video on Fashola because.
But they said the woman faked the information that they were going to use to tie Fashola. It turned out to be a lie in the end. She was used.
Well, has it been debunked? One thing is, for everyone that Tinubu uses today, what Tinubu is doing today is ole lomo ese ole to lori apata. That's what he's
That's
doing.
true.
Now that is a thief that knows how to trace the thief. Now, Tinubu has something on Fashola, and that's why Fashola is being rubbish today. Fashola, I mean, before he before he got to this extent that he himself has now become a compromised human being. Fashola, he was a good guy from all I know. I mean, I was born in Lagos. I knew when Fashola became a governor of Lagos State. Even though most of them don't know what Tinubu, they see him as probably a good person, but Obasanjo would have been in a better position. So Gani shouted when Gani was making that noise. Festus was serving under Gani. Now, I was fortunate to meet Festus one-on-one when I was in Lagos State Polytechnic. Now, the land in Ekosi, where you have TVC, belongs to Lagos State Polytechnic. Now, we had a case in our school then. We had to go meet Festus. He was on Onikpan Road. That was where Festus stopped us. And we all were talking to him on that highway that led to Ikorodu. Now, fast forward. Festus was pursuing this same agenda of his master, Gani Fahimi, because Fahimi of a blessed memory. We all know his story. Wonderful lawyer, wonderful man. He knew everything. He has everything about Tinubu. The story of Tafa Balogun, all of those things. Now, Festus, fast forward. He knows because he was serving under Fahimi. Now, all of a sudden, I go to America and I now begin to hear that Festus now is now part of Tinubu. How come? Tinubu has something on him. So, like Dr. CM used to say on Niger Watch that Tinubu is not just bearing those several names. Tinubu is an evil-minded human being. And I said on Niger Watch, Tinubu, like he had his ear on the chest of the devil. Like, the devil issue. Like the devil is always having his ears on the chest of the devil, always listening to how he can do his evil every day. That guy is evil. Tinubu is evil. Very, very evil. For everyone around him today, they are all syndicates. Look at what we have in our country today. Look at what we have today. It will take, honestly, I hear your submission on Niger Watch, and it is a call to all of us as a Nigerian. What will you do in judiciary? There's this Arab guy that said something. He said when the system is compromised, and don't be surprised what you're seeing about the pastors. Everybody's been compromised. Tinubu said it. He said, what money cannot do, more money can do, because money is a when Jesus Christ brought out money, he showed them what is this? It's mammon, is a god. Why do you think Festus can say what he's saying? God. Wike said is God. Money, mammon. Those guys are evil. So for me, the one person, the very first person that should have brought Tinubu down is Obasanjo, but he failed woefully. Obasanjo failed. Now all of a sudden, Tinubu now peruse all of them. When you see Falana making noise about labor and all, it's nonsense. Tinubu, that guy, the system is porous, is corrupt. But I think Peter Obi did something that is so significant that Nigeria must pay attention to, that you and I and all Nigerians must pay attention to. Peter Obi went to donate blood, right? Pay attention to what Peter Obi did. I don't know if he means it in himself, but when it get to a level when a man can do that, he's telling you that I don't care. This one will either buy for it or we save it. That is what I read to that Peter Obi going to donate blood. I don't know if that's what he meant for doing that, but to me, what I read today is that Peter Obi has gotten to a point and he said, I am not going anywhere. We will do it together. I think it has gone to a point for Peter Obi where he said, we either buy here or we bring it down. The noise of genie on violent space. It's not just ordinary noise. Everybody's got to the point where we say, you know what, even women are saying that we either buy here, we give our red oil here, or we bring this whole nonsense down. We cannot allow this to continue. That guy has a dirt on everybody. The Oba of Lagos that this man is talking about, the Oba of Lagos was a former police officer. I'm not sure. Really one. Working job. I'm not sure if that guy is, if his lineage supposed to be the Oba of Lagos. Tinubu cohort with people to install that guy as the Oba of Lagos. If what I hear this man say, so my people, what you said on Niger Watch today, honestly, is a clarion call. The Ukrainians, they fought for Ukraine. The Russians fought for Russia. Nelson Mandela did all that he did for apartheid, against apartheid. Nelson has the opportunity to say, you know what, South Africa, I want to rule forever. But Nelson, with integrity, with empathy, vision for the nation, did his term and left it for the nation. The name of Nelson will not be forgotten. I was telling my Ghanaian friend at work, Obama, but for God, number one, and the Clinton family, Obama would not have smelled the president of America. It was significant for Obama to be carrying the suit of Clinton. Forget the nonsense that happened to Bill Clinton. That man is a model. That man is a model. A white guy bringing a black man from a thick black nation. Obama was carrying the suit of Clinton. Clinton mentored him and he became the president. Tinubu has ruled Lagos for many years now. Well, he only ruled for 8 years. But his path is still on the soil of Lagos State. Everything that Lagos State owns, you will see the stamp of Tinubu family on there. This Amoda, Amore, this thief. My own call to Nigerians, like your call this afternoon, is what will Nigerians do if Judiciary choose to go the other way? Are we really tired? It's an eyesore. In Benin Kingdom, this nonsense cannot happen. In Oodua Kingdom, this nonsense will not happen. The emir of Sokoto, let's forget about tribe. Let's even throw away tribalism. As Nigerians, this is the worst ever in our history. This is the worst ever. Forget the fact that maybe Jonathan became president, they stole his own. They stole, we know. But this one, this Amoda, no. Even we as Yoruba, we cannot trace his lineage. I have to go to where I say it come from. Go to Osun State and go and shout, Kerio. Ebi Tinubu and wow, we are looking for this guy that became the president. We are looking for his family. Nobody will show up for him. Nobody will come out. They don't know him. This is the worst that has happened to us as people. And so that's what I was saying in the afternoon, that Faramo, and like somebody said in the afternoon, Madam Joy said, Faramo is only an orator. He's good at that. If he cares about the nation, he is also a Nigerian. Let him carry placard and go and protest against this nonsense that is happening to us as a nation. But at this time, we either spill red oil or we bring it down. So you can play the video. Sorry, I have to rant that rant.
No, you see, I left you because I think that it's a very important rant. Honestly,
CCSU in the history of America, CCSU, a old institution, a old school. Now, my cry now is to be obedient. Go to the alumni LinkedIn page, Twitter page of CSU. Drag in the alumni. If you bring in the alumni, things will unfold.
They brought in the alumni on a lot of people have sent messages. They figured out some of the alumni. They figured out where some of them worked. They've sent emails. Some Nigerians have sent emails to them, waiting for responses from them. They even have the alumni picture for 1979. Agbado not there.
What I'm even saying is, I mean, by the grace of God, I now begin to realize how the fact that I started from a community college in America, even about after having HND in Nigeria, accounting, I had to start all over again.
Oh yeah.
College to now get to where I am now. Now, why I mentioned the alumni? Every school has an alumni association. Now, that alumni Twitter handle or their LinkedIn page, all of those things, let's infiltrate it. Let's get on their platform. Let's begin to bring in their nonsense. Now, once we bring in the alumni, let's even look for the president of the alumni can be a better voice in this whole thing.
I think people are already digging into that, because the last I was on the space, which space was it now?
Because this nonsense, and look at what is happening to CSU. CSU is an HBCU.
Exactly.
HBCU. You Google their ranking. They are not too far from the overall. And this
don't bring them down with it bad head.
He's already bringing the school down. Just one person, just one Amoda, one thief. The whole thing that bothers me about these guys is the fact that all our values, our morals, our culture, everything. Let's try, whether you're an Igbo person, whether you're a Hausa person, whether you're a Yoruba person, whether you're a Shekiri, whether you're an Eastern person, whether you are a Kwaiban person. This guy called Amoda has rubbished all of us as a nation. Honestly.
Facts.
He has rubbished all of us as a nation. That's why we all should be enraged and not allow this nonsense. And so, to our elders, like I said in the afternoon, I don't see where somebody has children. They battered you, beating you several years, and your children say, Baba, we want to fight this fight. We don't care what will happen. And you are saying, no, let's forget it. Now let's forget it. You cannot let it go, sir. That's why we are born. Our parents gave birth to us. Is to stop the nonsense. And that's the talk of Jimmy in the afternoon on Violent Space. You don't burn us. We don't study. We don't go. Most of us are all over the world. Young Nigerians doing exploit all over the world. They don't beat our fathers. They don't beat our parents. Some of our parents cannot even get their pension. Some got their pension. They cannot even use it to invest. Some of our parents, they are living hand to mouth because of these people like this Amoda and nonsense wiki driving Jeep of 300 million naira. So our fathers, they have given birth to us, and we are saying, oh, we want to go and fight. We want to go and fight this fight. I will say, blessed is the man that has his quiver full of children. We are born, we are enlightened. Maybe because of our own generation, then God creates social media. We are here today, and we are saying, let's forget it. Let's let it go. No, this one cannot go. It cannot. We must tame this guy. Look at Gabon. His father was a president. He passed to his son. Now they are saying Sheyi name came up as a minister. What nonsense? In which country? In which country? This is why we should not allow this thing to go down. Whether you live in America or you live in UK, when the Claron can call on you, we all should get the next flight ticket and go show up. You show up. We should show up. Look at Iran. South Africa, Mandela fought for his own people. How many they won't buy? How many? In 19 years old, he pied himself in Plateau Jos because of this old nonsense. 18 people pied in the election. They stabbed a lady in the face because of this nonsense Amoda. The Oro worshippers, they have to defy their God. Oro comes out in the night. But they have to defy their God and say, you know what? Oro, I'm a poor you are their God. But this drug baron had to be a president, and so you must come out in the afternoon. They defy their God for this nonsense drug baron. And we all can sit down like this and fold our hands, and this nonsense guy is this rubbish. The one that bothers me is our value. They want to Oju, value, want to be bully. Yeah, you grew up in the environment. You grew up in Ibadan.
Yep.
They use our value, our culture, everything. Well, so whether you are from the Benin Kingdom, whether you are from the Sokoto, whether we are from Sokoto or from anywhere in Nigeria, all of us, our value today is being rubbished by this Amoda. This Ogunlere. We all have to do something. Judiciary, you have grandchildren. The 19 years old that pied himself in prison would have been your own grandchild. If we are not tired, we are tired. We want to explore. Many of us are doing great on AI all over the world. You now allow this drug baron, this thief, this murderer to be president. What nonsense! Man, this guy. I wonder how the guy sleeps. I wonder how Remy also had debt on her. She know all of this evil. They are all caught together.
Is she any better? She's not any better now. She's
not.
probably the ones. She's behind her husband now.
She knows. She knows.
Of course, she knows. There's no way she will not know. She can't claim that she doesn't know. She's the one supporting her husband with her prayers. Who she prays to, I don't know.
So all of those Oba of Lagos, really one, all of them, the Tafa Balogun. You see what they did to Tafa Balogun? Tafa was the one pursuing the case of Tinubu then. You see what? Tafa fell down when he was being taken to prison. He fell from.
This is what this guy said now. He said all those people that were helping him up on, say the kind of pie that they pied, pie. That's where this guy just ended this conversation now.
When the nonsense Mahmoud Yakub did all he did, DSS and EFCC, DSS went to raid EFCC office to clear up all of the debt of this drug baron. Mayegun said it. That was when their nonsense was played at DSS and EFCC. It's to clear up the debt of this Amoda Ogunlori, or what did they call himself? My brothers, my sisters, Nigerians all over the world, you are listening to us tonight. It is enough. America can never. There's this young guy speaking for him, an American-born guy that was speaking for Tinubu. My question to him is that, by God's grace, I'm an American citizen. Can he allow
that one? I'm sorry, the guy looks very funny. His ears, everything about it, be like rats.
In fact, can he come to the US and come and do that nonsense in the US? Can he come over here and do the nonsense? I was at Lagos some 2 or 3 years ago. I was at the embassy. I was doing something for my mom. I was at the embassy. It's a people's house. But what they told me there, sir, you need to respect yourself. Nobody tell me how to walk out of the people, even though I have my blue passport. You cannot do that nonsense. You dare not do that nonsense on the soil of America. And that guy is in Nigeria saying nonsense with the drug baron. Come on, people.
Now he can't even worse past all
the lies. He's the worst of them. He's the worst of them.
They lie. And you know what? The reason why they put that guy there, let me tell you why. It's for the purpose of the West. Someone that it's easy for them to look to and to relate with. They want some type of, someone that they can, say, okay, this one be like, it resembles us small. At least we know. I'm telling you, that's why they have that guy there. You can take that to the bank. The guy, he it be like person where he not represent anything. He not get any purpose for life. He not get any direction. They just tell and say, come, I want you to do this effectively. And he came. That's exactly what it is. That man has no purpose. I'm sorry for the family, for the woman when marry and go for house, and for the children when they born, because now they go suffer from all of these things when they do. Now the children, now they go suffer. It's already in nature. You cannot do things like this and expect that you will be able to go. Let me tell you, it's not all about money. They can have all the money, they can have all the influence, but the kind things when they deal with, not be a Korean man do pikin be that.
Exactly.
I'm not happy, I'm not rejoicing. No, And God knows I'm not rejoicing, I'm not, happy that this kind of things are happening to them, but that they use their hand drag am. Is it money that is their problem? It's not money. But look at what they are dealing with. If to
And
say
that
not be London they take out
mm,
German, if for don dey waka street since, if for don even make am minister, who you dey talk?
that guy has the opportunity to have built, if you built 100 dialysis for the people in the southeast region, Otobe Ojubero, if you built 100 dialysis, built, equipped, he has the money. Most of that money is our money, but the nonsense guy cannot do it. He cannot. He cannot. He cannot. And they now also make Akpabiole, the senator, the Senate president.
Of course,
All of these
she's
guys,
all surrounded by hardened criminals. That's why I'm like, when people use judiciary, I almost lost it with Mr. Elvis today. Because I'm like, judiciary has proven time and time again that we can't trust them.
no, we don't have to trust them for them to do for them to decide the case as we decide. They don't need our trust. They just need to do their own job because we know that Peter Obi won the election.
No, I've heard some people say, I trust that the judiciary will
We
do the right.
don't we
I've
don't
heard
need to trust them. They don't need our trust. They just have to do their own job.
Huh.
When
I
somebody
don't
is
give a hoot about the judiciary. If they do
no, when
their
somebody
job,
is sick,
then that's fine.
when somebody is sick, they go to the hospital. Whoever doctor they meet there, they just know that doctor have to do their job. So the judiciary, we don't have to trust you. We don't need our trust. Just do your job, and your job is to give us the judgment. Peter Obi won the election. Everywhere in Nigeria, there's evidence. If you go to Benin, there's evidence. Go to Lagos,
The
evidence.
whole world is knows
Everywhere
that
there's
Peter Obi
evidence.
won.
There's
The
evidence
whole
everywhere.
world, Ghanaians are telling you Peter Obi won. Even the francophone countries, so we say na friend they know say Peter. Not be Burkina Faso man talk say make Agbado sharp there. Otherwise, I been a Niger man. See, otherwise they'll come comot and put the right person. All of everybody, who no know, who no know. Even this guy, what's his name? I keep forgetting his name. He's from Zimbabwe. He's always speaking truth to power. The man
Oh,
said it now.
is it lose something? I
Yeah,
forgot.
Lupinda abi Lumia. God, please, oh, more than not vessel.
It was one that
Right?
said it was one that told us to stop electing fools as president.
Yeah, you understand? Everybody, who no know, who no, you no get who no know, say Peter Obi na him. There's, you no get, you know. So at the end of the day, now won't be saying now the D-Day, not be 1st of September, be this. It's only exactly 2 weeks
Oh my God,
away.
it's not even madness. 16th of September is the last day, and you guys went to they said 16th of December is 16th of September is when they will now decide the case. Why wait till 16? At least Yoruba will say taba fi ọdún ọgbọ̀n ọdún pinlẹ̀ wèrè. Ìgbà ọgbọ̀n ẹni fẹ́ jáde ló fẹ́ ya wèrè yẹn gan. You have taken how many months now to decide your case? Then craze the case earlier so that we can know how we want to handle you. How many years now? Okay, you don't use how many months now? Play your craze, do everything. Sometimes you even laugh in the court. You make jest of a B. You don't use how many months prepare your craze. How you want a craze is crazy judiciary. Craze and you want a craze. Maybe we know if I to take it to Arrow, or maybe we take it to Arrow, or we save our country. And I don't take how many years prepare for na craze and madness. When I want crazy, when I want even run go outside, go come up in a black garment and then in a white wig. Do what you dey
That
do.
white wig, and that wig when they wear, first of all, I have a problem with it. And that their gown, they talk am all the time. They suppose pack all those things, put am for inside deep pits, pack everything, put fire for the thing, make it burn reach ground, patapata. That wig and gown, all lori raw from the top to the bottom. Even the Oyibo people when they give am to us, the history of that their even law, is problematic. Even people when they give am to us, they tell us say problem dey. Most of the laws when they rely on the common law, the rules, they are fraudulent, my people. It's time for Africa to do things the way it is done. I was watching a clip just not too long ago. In a village, somebody was accused of stealing. Okay, stealing something very valuable. Now they can't do like broom when they hold. One person hold one broom for you, the other person hold one broom. They look for who thief am because nobody gree talk say na dem take am. So they had to come through that broom. So if you come through it easily, you go fit pass. But if na you, that thing go hold you. True, all the people were coming through. The second to the last person, the thing come catch am. E no fit move. Na there the guy was doing everything possible for him to move. He could not. That thing catch am for there. Then they hold am. They say, so why you come dey lie? Na you do this thing. Why you come dey lie? Say wetin court you go carry thief. Person wey kpai person go court for Nigeria. No be we dey see for street so. Ibori dem, Wike dem, all these people, they are not supposed to be walking around with human beings.
But I have a question.
Keyamo, all of them suppose dey inside jail. None of them suppose to dey waka.
But I have a question.
Desiani. My brother, go ahead.
My question is, now, if allegedly judiciary, they said the final judgment will be on 16th of September, can't Labour Party ask them why 16 and challenge that date? Must we all just sit down and say, okay, 16?
I don't know if they can challenge it because based on the number of days that they have here's the thing. It's like here, for instance, right? If you file a case here in court and they say 90 days for judgment, now you might not get the judgment on time depending on the evidence that has been produced and the research they need to do and all of that, right? Some people will get their judgment within 30 days. Some people will get their judgment within the 60 days time frame. Others will get their judgment within the 90-day time frame. Sometimes it could be till the last day. So they have till that day, really, legally, for them to decide, okay, this is when they want to give the.
But we know how our system play in Nigeria. If it's here, if it's like country like America, UK, we can agree that. But honestly, for me, that date is.
The date is tricky and it's questionable. I agree with you. Waiting till the very last minute doesn't make any sense, right? The case is clean and clear. It's obvious for everybody to know. But guess what, though? These people have been bought over. You and I know now.
Exactly.
No,
exactly.
not be one of the useless judges they talk say forgiveness. Not be something like that they talk for court when the whole court called a murmur for.
Yeah, one of the judges.
One of the judges. Those are the kind of people you're dealing with. Look at somebody like Bukachua that came on the floor of the Senate. They tell you to your face that man they're supposed to walk him from there to jail. And people supposed to they're supposed to they raid people houses after that. What happened? The next day, did he not come out with another thing to debunk what he said? What happened after that? Silence. Look at Rufai, little finger, strutting around amongst human beings. Those kind of people are not supposed to be. They are not supposed to be working with normal people. That's the problem. You have that kind of. Personally, like I say, when I say it sounds like I don't care for the judiciary. I'm not interested in what they have to say. If they do what everybody knows is obvious, right? That means they've done their job. That's all. People that will congratulate them and thank them will be there. There'll be plenty. They don't need my thanks, okay? But if they choose not to, the thing will consume all of us. It's just that simple. There's no running away for anybody. They either choose to sink or swim. They either choose to sink, right, with 1,000 people only, or they swim with over 200 million people. If I were them, I would choose 200 million because now they're plenty pass.
I cannot wait for us to go to Supreme Court, because Supreme Court, for me, we don't even need, we don't need
We
any
don't need
Supreme Court.
Supreme Court. If the matter tribunal, it really and truly the matter supposed end for tribunal. Which evidence you want go provide for Supreme Court? Which evidence? What do you have? Because it's only when you have evidence that was not considered during your petition that you say, oh, guess what, oh, I presented this evidence that was not considered. Because it was not considered, I feel like my case, the outcome of my case would have been different. And then Supreme Court go look at me, go say, okay, it's true, they not really consider this thing, and the evidence is weighty. In this case, which evidence, I ask? They did not have anything to produce. Matter of fact, na threat and beg na dem use take write their final answer abi response. Is that one something to consider? Wetin dem wan look for Supreme Court? Dem go just give Supreme, see, all those people don old, they'll just give them premature hypertension. I'm telling you, because Nigerians, as we dey so, we never ready to rest for the matter, and the pressure is getting heated. You see that is if the case go even get chance say enter Supreme Court o. Because you forget, people are waiting for the tribunal judgment. People are not even waiting for Supreme Court o. If you listen, people no dey talk about Supreme Court o. Na tribunal people dey wait for, make the judgment first come. Once the judgment land like
I
this,
need to go Supreme Court.
there's a possibility that it will not enter Supreme. Where the chance to enter Supreme Court when people are already mad, people are sitting on time bomb. Huh.
Hello.
Oh, sorry, my sister. Welcome, Mrs. Omorege. Welcome. Oh, greeting to you.
Hello. So, I just want to come in from the angle of the dates we've been given, as and I'm just here looking at everybody and listening to everybody, and I'm like, I think Maya Angelou said, if someone shows you who they are, believe them. I am thinking that they're going to pull the same thing they pulled on us last time. By the time we woke up, before we woke up, 4 a.m., they don't do it they want to do. I'm telling you, that's the feeling I'm getting, no, because they did it before and nothing happened. And as far as they are concerned, they are going to roll out the soldiers again. We'll start, before you know it, now we're going to start seeing army coming out like they did, armored vehicles coming out like they did the other time. Remember, during the election, that's just the vibe I'm getting personally. They're going to try and come and try and intimidate people again. One of these days, before we wake up, they'll don't announce what they want to announce. Then when people want to come out on the streets, next thing they'll see police, army full everywhere. That's just what I'm thinking.
Yeah, you're right. There's not. I don't think that.
You're thinking.
Yeah,
You're
you're
thinking,
right,
and
but
guess is as right as mine. And
yeah,
that's why I'm saying that should Peter Obi. I mean, I don't know if, but
I don't think
honestly,
you cannot do anything about the date.
well,
That's
that
the truth.
well,
Because they
Peter
because
have
Obi,
15th and
Peter Obi has done what he can do now. He's gone to court. You understand? As a non-violence person trying to follow the law, he's done this. But now it's at this point in time, it's in the hands of the people. The power is in the hands of the people.
And the difference here is this, okay? Here's the difference. The difference is that now, people have been holding off this anger that they've been carrying for over a few months, okay? People are literally sitting on anger. You can feel it, you can touch it. It's almost something that you can even see with your eyes. The difference is that wherever they roll out military, they roll out police, so people don't care anymore. That is the problem. That's what is going to be the problem. It's not the fact that they're not going to roll out army. People are now ready to even buy on top of this matter.
I don't think so. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
we'll see. I guess time will tell.
Think so. I don't think so. If you list,
I guess time will tell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Because we can
we'll
keep going
see.
back and forth. I don't think so.
We'll see. I mean, hey, not be here with you. All of us will see now. And we'll all say, okay, I told you so, or I did not tell you so. Abi? No, we'll see. I mean, that's what I think. I don't know. Because
Well,
Go
I'll tell you
ahead.
my reason why I don't think so. I mean, what haven't we gone through? Talk about from the beginning of the year with this cash crunch. How many countries go through what we go through? I think the thing I see for this Nigerian, our kind of mentality or our lifestyle, maybe I don't know if it's a cultural thing or whatever. When they make the things harder for us, we go adjust. People go talk here and there. A few people will complain here and there, and then
And
they move
because
on. How
people
bad
like
can it
they
be?
like life.
You understand what I'm saying? How bad
They
can
like
it
to
go?
enjoy.
Can it get? I'm sorry. You understand? What did they never do us? Now so people talk, oh, just before the election, sorry, after the election, you will see you'll do this. What happened? Nothing happened. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna emotionally or psychologically set personally my opinion for
No, it's valid. Your opinion is
I'm not
very
gonna
valid, and I agree with you because not true. Before the election, I remember when they were counting, I was screaming on Niger Watch like somebody ought to jump on that man and stop this count, right? But you know what? You're right. I can't even argue with you on that. I can't even push back on it because we all watched it happen. But I guess we'll have to sit down and look. Maybe we not sit down and look, then go be our business again. We will know. We will know because let me finish this video because it's very important. This man was giving us serious insights. Let me continue small, then we'll talk and then we'll shut this down for the night.
Ohun tó fa relationship wọn nìyẹn. Kí ló fa relationship Hausa àti
So one thing he said, let me take this back a little bit. Let me take it back.
Fẹ́mi Òkúnù yẹn ó yìí wà láyé. So Tinubu
Okay.
tó bára wọn sọ̀rọ̀. Rilwan Akiolu ní kò kí ń ṣe iṣẹ́ òun ọwọ́ ọ̀gá òun Musiliu Smith níṣẹ́ yẹn wà. Ibi tí bàbá Musiliu Smith yẹn tóun náà ti gba àbọ̀dì fún Èkó yẹn nìyẹn. So wọ́n fà pẹ̀lú Funsho Williams nígbà yẹn ní àwọn bàbá yẹn ìyá Abibat Mogaji, K.O. Tinubu àti Múrí Okunọlá àti Fẹ́mi Òkúnù wọ́n lọ fi Quran búra pé ọmọ àwọn ní Bọ́lá Tinubu. Àwọn yẹn ikú rédèrèdè lọ́kù. Fẹ́mi Òkúnù yẹn ó yìí wà láyé. So Tinubu Rilwan Akiolu ìgbà tó wà lọ́lọ́pàá òun ó wà lára àwọn tíìmù tó ní kó investigate Bọ́lá Tinubu. Wọ́n wá lọ bá IG Musiliu Smith. True yẹn wọ́n fi bá Atiku sọ̀rọ̀. Látọ́ bá Atiku sọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo fáìlì yẹn wọ́n jẹ́ kó déwájú Ọbásanjọ́. Wọ́n tẹ gbogbo fáìlì yẹn wọ́n tẹ̀ rìn. Ibẹ̀ ni Bọ́lá Tinubu àti Atiku lọ ti pàdé ara wọn. Ṣé wọ́n ti pé wọ́n jọ fọ́ọ̀mù AD ni? Ohun tó fa relationship wọn nìyẹn. Kí ló fa relationship Hausa àti Yorùbá? Ohun tó fa relationship wọn tó fi jọ dá pátì lẹ́nìyẹn. Ẹ wá rí Akiolu ó ti máa ń lóun máa jọba láti kékeré. Àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ Gbádégẹṣin ó ti máa ń sọ fún wọn pé òun máa jọba. Ìgbà tí pápá kú tí wọn ọmọ bọ́yẹ máa ṣe ó fi ọ̀rẹ́ ó fi jẹ elétò ìdìbò so ìyẹn á lè sọ di ọba. Wọ́n wá lọ bá Bọ́lá Tinubu ní gọ́vnà. Wọ́n sáré tó ẹ lọ wo space yẹn kò ṣẹlẹ̀ rí kí ọba kan kú kọ́dẹ̀ sáré kú kọba. Well ó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ ní onírò náà sìn so orí Akiolu àti rí wọ́n sáré cook wọ́n fi jọba. Òun ni oore tó ṣe fún Tinubu lọ́jọ́ náà lọ́hùn òun ni wọ́n san fún padà lọ́ ṣe fi jẹ ọba. Ìdí tí wọ́n ṣe ń ránṣẹ́ nìyẹn. Ṣé rí pé òun náà ni wọ́n mú Ambode fún tí odidi ọba olórí burúkú ọba. Mo sọ pé táwọn èèyàn by the grace of Almighty Allah, if you don't vote for Ambode you will go by the lagoon. Ṣé rí pé àwọn Igbo tó lọ́ máa go by lagoon òun lógún wá kó but òun náà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan. Bàbá Musiliu Smith ọmọ Èkó tẹ̀dẹ̀ gbàbọ̀dì tó yẹn wọ́n ra jeep méjì fún wọn. Oore tó wá san fún bàbá Musiliu Smith Abattoir ní Agége wọ́n gbà ní ọwọ́ Garima Alhaji Garima Mohammed wọ́n gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ wọ́n wá list wọ́n franchise ẹ̀ fún bàbá Musiliu Smith for 99 years Abattoir 99 years fún èèyàn kan ṣé kò fẹ́ kú mọ́ ni. Oore tó fi san bàbá Musiliu Smith nìyẹn. Ẹ wá wo ibi tó ti lọ búra lọ́jọ́ sí ṣe mọ̀ pé chief imam bẹ̀ Afis àwọn Akiolu náà ni wọ́n wọ̀ọ̀kì ẹ̀ ìyẹn ní ẹgbẹ́ kan tàwọn Muslim conspiracy yẹn ó ti ń lọ ohun tí Tinubu ṣe dé bó ṣe dé Èkó nìyẹn àwọn mọ́gàjì ìyá mọ́gàjì Múrí Okùnọlá àti K.O. àti bàbá Fẹ́mi Òkúnù àwọn ọlọ́mọ Tinubu wa bí Tinubu ṣe rí nìyẹn kò sí ẹni kí gbogbo fámìlì Tinubu lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ tó bá fẹ́ ká sun ilé wọn ní ẹyọ kọ̀ọ̀kan kó jáde kó wá sọ ibi tí wọ́n ti tọmọ Tinubu mama Kẹ́mi Nelson dínà ẹ̀ bàbá Rafiu Tinubu yẹn náà dínà ẹ̀ kí gbogbo alámọ̀ amọ́lé gbogbo Tinubu lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kí wọ́n jáde kó wá sọ ibi tí wọ́n ti tọmọ Tinubu à sun ilé gbogbo wọn tí wọ́n bá sọ pé ẹbí àwọn ní Tinubu kí Tinubu lọ mú birth certificate hospital tó bí sí kó mú jáde ẹni tí ó bá tọmọ kó mú jáde àfa wàhálà yìí ó ti tó enough is enough ó tó gẹ́ àwọn bàbá tó gbàbọdè fún wa nìyẹn ìmí nínú wọn tó bá kú àwú òkú ẹ̀ àwọn bàbá burúkú àwọn ìyá burúkú ìyá bíbá tí wọ́n gàjì tó rí jákujàku yẹn.
Did you hear the part where he said that he was, that his file was, but they didn't get to Obasanjo's office? Atiku held the file. It was held in Atiku's office. So Atiku knows about this. Did you hear that part? No.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is, he actually revealed some great and powerful secret there. And that was exactly because Tinubu just came from nowhere, and that woman, Aibatu Mogaji, was the one that they said took him as his own son. Well, I think this video, when was this video released?
I just found it recently. I think it was yesterday. I found
this is powerful.
Yeah, I found. So I followed this guy. His name is Daddy Nifemi. He was the one who shared this. So when that guy is ahead, so it was a 1 day ago. So it looks like it's a recent one that this man did. So I think there's a part 2 loading, and I'm really paying attention to when the part 2 comes out because I'm curious. I want to know also, like.
And now because everybody is benefiting from the renewed shaggy.
Exactly. Okay, look at the this thing I told you guys about.
It touch everybody one by one, so now everybody is coming.
Yeah, the name not did the yearbook. Yeah, see all the people yearbook for 1979. See all of them. I think now one of the people.
You're not seeing your screen, no.
You're not seeing my screen. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me share it with you guys. I thought I was sharing it. Thank you for telling me.
This Funshaw William was wasted. They just
yeah. See. Chicago State University yearbook. I think it was one of the alumni that sent it out. See, Tinubu not there, nothing. Baba is missing. He not there. This is the alumni picture for the yearbook for 1979. 9 be this. No Tinubu inside. None. Nobody. Yeah.
No, when the guy said all of his classmates, they all died. This is what he's referring to because if, like Jimmy did an analysis.
No, it's not all his classmates. So that guy that the video I just finished, he's talking about the babas then that surrounded Tinubu at the time that got paid off, that knows how.
No, I'm talking about this yearbook now. This yearbook.
Okay.
Jimmy, I think Jimmy said he did a kind of background check on the people and discovered that most of them, they are older, very, very older than Tinubu. So when the guy would tell Nigerians that all of his classmates are dead, maybe this is what he's referring to because that guy, Tinubu is I've got to permit my language, that guy is a devil, honestly. Tinubu is a devil part 2. That guy is
Miss Eunice and Dr. Paul, you guys are asking for interpretation of what the man said. The man video don't play finish. summary of it is that he knows this. He has some stories about the source of where Agbado came from, and he's calling all of them out that knew about this man from when he was running as a senator and eventually became a governor. He says it's time for him to expose them all. So this is the part one that he just did, giving us an insight as to how the Agbado came about. That he's not a real Tinubu. Okay, so apparently it looks like he paid off some people, right, to be able to take that name, because they went and they swore before a Quran that he's indeed a Tinubu. Okay, so that's the summary. That's the soft summary of it all. So when the guy comes, because I'm looking out for the set, because I know there's going to be parts to it, I will definitely bring it. But hopefully there'll be someone who can interpret the Yoruba for you guys very well, and better than I do. Go ahead, Mr. Give us a mandate. I'm sorry about
No, I
that.
mean, very, very, very well said. That's the summary of it all. That and you see, those that even did that thing then, they are also the elderly people that this guy leveraged on. So like he always used the elderly people to get through because he
Yes, that's
rubbish
what
that.
he did.
Yes,
Yes.
our culture.
Yes.
Ebo, Fagba, respect elders, respect elders.
Now you.
So that was what he used. And that is what he's still using today.
Yeah.
That's why I can go and bring people like Olesho Inka,
Ehen.
the elderly pastors to come talk to the young people because he believed
Exactly.
that they have followers that will always listen to their people. That is what he's doing. So then he used the elders. Now he's also using the elders. But this time we have wised up. We are saying Baba Mama, all of you that Tinubu is talking to, with all due respect, sirs and mas, pastors, imam, wherever you are, we respect you, you are parents, but this time we are saying we want to fight. We want to fight this fight. You, our parent, cannot serve or probably serve this evil men, and then we, your children, will also follow the same thing. No, 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 no. It has to change at this time, and that's why we are where we are today. This should not go down like this in history. Let's even see the end of this matter. If Biden come, we drag Biden too. At least he's already almost getting his, I mean he also got his own boarding pass. So if Biden join, we drag Biden join now. Most of us are citizens, so we will know how to drag Biden. So this one should not go down like this in history. It will be too injurious for us to allow this to go down. This guy is something else.
One thing I have to say for those of us when they live for the Obodo, for Yankee, okay, I don't want to use all mouth talk. Their own election they come up. Pikin when he say mama no go sleep, he sef no go sleep. We no fit dey give them our own to make their own good while our own dey suffer. Most of the people when they don go dey thumb print for this D people, the Democrat whatever, na dem dey always put us for this problem.
Exactly.
Always put us. Not be say
Exactly.
the other ones good though. The other ones, the arrow not good. None of them good for inside. But you see this D, especially this D, na dem be the worst. Na dem dey be like rat when they eat person leg for night.
The other guy would have been better if he was consistent on how he,
Yes.
because with the way he came in and then having his vice, Mike Pence is a very gentle and
I
very
not trust am. Even that one, I not
well,
trust
well,
am. Na
well,
big snake under
but
the green
if
grass.
they
I
if they
not
have
trust
maintained
that
their
one.
consistency, we won't be where we
No,
are
but
today.
the truth be say they not like any of they not like us anyway. So, but at least they for they there for no. Me for guess what though? You see the orange one. If for even go make if to say the orange one dey there for no mind. Even though he say me he wan say all of us go house, we need to go house anyway. So all of us make we rearrange our load. If the man enter again, make we dey arrange because the man go to send all of us back. And
If
I'm
you,
here
you
for
know what, if you can't say, if you send all of us back, now there that fight will come sweet pass.
Exactly. You understand? We need to make everybody. I'm telling you, make nobody decide they wish anybody bad. Now, wetin need to happen be that for us to get sense. Now, wetin need to happen. Me wan make the man. To be honest with you, right now, me wan make the orange come back. I kid you not. I no send am o. I no send am. I no send the other one. But right now, na the orange I dey look for. I'm telling you, since they say pikin no go sleep, mama no go sleep, pikin sef no go. All of us make we dey do our work. I'm telling you, make we dey pass time because it's too much. E don reach time when all of us go shine eye, open our eye for global politics. We need to dey because if we understand how dis thing take dey affect us for house, we no go quiet. We no go sit down quiet, just dey take things easy. Dis thing wey dey happen for the whole world, na we Africa na e dey affect pass. You see dis election wey dey come so, na orange o, na be my colour. I'm sorry, I no dey tell anybody. I just quietly go do my thing, enter house. It's true because otito get na dem wan impose make you choose whether you be boy, whether you be woman. Dem wan impose am on every country for Africa.
You know, see wetin
Why?
happen. You know, see wetin happen for Delta State.
Exactly, when they round up all those people.
In
I
fact,
know everybody get right to live their life as they want live. I know
man,
you no concern me. Do your thing.
I
You
was
dey live for your
surprised.
corner.
Delta State. Hey, my God.
Yes, now they
My God.
plenty. They don scatter all over. I no go shock if this agbado man don already sign the thing for them. Na him make the thing. You know say e dey rise for Nigeria every day. As they take do this dollar behind the scene wey we no know, so when Falana come tell us, na exactly wetin these people dey do with this. You go bow say they don sign this thing into law for Nigeria. Na im make you see say they wan dollarize Nigeria. Nigeria, a whole country, a whole dynamic, brilliant, genius people. You want to reduce them, make dem come dey spend another man country. Is that not the lowest level of ineptitude? That means say you hate yourself so tey na another person own na im better for you. This man, I no go surprise, you don already sign am. You don sign am say yes, we go allow anybody fit do wetin, because the thing is on the rise, no be joke. The thing is on the rise. If you watch some of these videos, you go dey wonder say when this thing come start to dey I mean, of course we dey hear all these people, all dem Bobrisky dem and the other guy, okay, right? There's those ones dey, but now my brother, e don plenty for Nigeria.
No.
E don plenty, and I tell you, some of these people, they already dey Nigeria. They dey infiltrate, and some of them, you know say different baba things na dey happen for Nigeria now, where they dey forcefully dey do them anyhow wey they like. So those people, they go forcefully do them until they get the taste for am. That's what is going on. We don't know. We think say this fight wey we dey fight, we no understand. Make this man wey orange make e enter. I'm telling you, may e send all of us go back. We need to go back. We need to go fight to collect our land back and start to fix what is broken. Because we no need to dey here. We are wasting time and energy here. I'm telling you, fact. The evil when they go on behind the scene, we never know the damage yet too. This one we dey hear na peripheral, na drop in the ocean. Now you dey hear drop. Wait, make everywhere scatter first. Na after you go know. When Peter Obi enter, na you go see expose. Na not just say some of us go be, we will need to dey take am in doses. Oh my God. I'm telling you, we don't know the damage this man has caused. Between him and the man wey just comot, because that one no your get voice at all. Na dem support that one to enter. You know say na dem support am to enter. Na your people when you dey follow live for here, na dem go support the man wey comot to enter. Na dem support am. Dem support am with millions of dollars so that they go fit do their bidding. When they start to dey build that pipeline, na during that man bubu time, na they start to dey build am. E give dem access. Then on top of that one, French from back, they destabilize because they look for they do their own interest too. They bring bandits and terrorists come to destabilize because their throat long for Nigeria, all the resources, all the mineral resources na you think about. So that one come dey plant bandits all around. All of them know na the same table dem dey do the meeting together for night because that's when they do their meeting. We dey here, we dey look like mumu. Omo, okpai na kpai o, everybody ready. You see this one so, if these people say we no go sleep, dem sef no go sleep. Make all of us get country wey no get head. Make we sef, when we sit down for table together, round table, mystery loves company, we go dey talk, we go dey compare suffering. I'm telling you, may e be like that. We need to get sense. We no fit dey do their own well. Meanwhile, na our ancestors na im build where dem dey so. Our ancestors, everything wey dem get na dem build am. From UK o, name the European country, na our ancestors. But our own no stand. They destroy all the one we be dey try to build, they destroy everything. Then you come dey the place you want to do am make e easy for you. No, make e no easy, make nowhere easy. Make dem know as e dey be. I'm telling you o, I no send anybody papa anymore. All that one the double standard, the hypocrisy, my God. The hypocrisy. Ashe na because of una ade una country. Una do am to make life difficult for those wey wan do something with their life, so that we go comot for our country come sit down for una own.
Exactly. Exactly.
So na on purpose una do am in ten tionally, so that we will come become like slaves on our own country to help. Are you not help? You want us say you no dey help dem build their community. You are helping them. You no dey pay taxes.
You know how much they pay? You know how much they pay as tax?
The more you make, the more you pay. If you like make 1 million, you pay more. Are you kidding me?
Before you go to year Nigeria, they shout six figure. The 6 figure today, no more. No people they shout it. They didn't make 6 figure noise again anymore.
Meanwhile,
Six
you
figure.
get house for Nigeria, the house na your own. You don't buy am finish. Here you go get house, you go dey pay titi.
30 years, you see they pay.
30 years. You go dey pay. God go help you if you fit pay before God call you. If you not come pay the thing, sometimes they go transfer the thing go your na loan, student loan they transfer go your pikin head. Can you imagine that? We dey here, we dey work for them, they make their country good with our good energy. You no be good person. I sure say the people wey you don impact for your community alone, the fact your presence alone for where you dey for Texas, e dey cover some people. You no know. The fact say you dey that particular place, e be like protection for people. People no understand this thing. The energies when you dey bring come place, e get some people wey go show up for area like this, you go just feel sense of protection. Na the energy wey dey carry. These people know wetin dem dey do. They are spiritually savvy too, because they get witches and people when they conjure, they tell them things. I'm telling you, people, they don't tell them as e be. If you feel, because I tell you, if all the people wey dey be like us carry our load comot for this country, everywhere go crash. I can bet money on it. Everywhere go crash. Look every area, every economic aspect of it. Now we wey get color, na we dey spend pass. Most of these their people, they no dey wear better cloth. If they go Walmart buy $2, $3, but meanwhile, our color, we go buy the best. We want the best. We want to look good. We want to do this one. Now we dey spend the money. Now our money they say they improve themselves, plus our energy. If something happen now, guess what dey happen? Now most of us, our people, and some of their people when see get their head correct. Now we dey gather, dey pray. Now we dey pray for the community. Now we dey intercede. You know they ask yourself a question. They know wetin dem dey do intentionally. They do am intention. All those people wey you see dey kpai for, they wan cross border, they kpai for ocean, kpai for this. It's all part of their agenda. They no like you, they no want you, but they can't do without you. We better start getting sense. You see this election wey dey come for this side wey we dey, so almost forget. Orange is the new black. I don change my way of looking at things before. I dey look am narrowly before. I no know.
my eye don open reach back. I say, hey, ashe, ẹ̀yin gangan na dey cause the problem when I dey. Na cause the problem when my forefathers enter. Ha! Kò jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́. Forget. Kí gbogbo ẹ̀ dàrú. May everywhere scatter. Make we dey do round table, dey do therapy with each other. Na so your own be. Okay o. Me sef na like this e be o. Make we dey talk like that. I'm telling you, make the man enter, make e drive all of us. Okuku da. By the time we inundate the airport for Nigeria, full everywhere, everybody wey sabi make noise start to dey make noise from the airport. Dem go know say things don change. That's what we need. Because people for Nigeria, they've been beaten down. Maybe they go buy all the people that come from diaspora. Maybe by that time, okay, they will say, okay, we don't take care of all of them. But if that one not happen, we're on a long thing. I want make a man enter. Me want, I'm rooting, me they root for him. I don't want to use all my talk on a public place. Me they root for him. Make the man enter. Make it drive all of us. All.
Man, no,
Tired of it.
we need to go fix our horn.
You need to go fix am. See all the skills when you get, all the skills when you don't pack, when you don't do, all the knowledge when you don't accrue, the wisdom when you don't get, everything. Imagine, everything when you don't get. Imagine say you go back, everybody go back, go dey develop their own with the skill when you get, with the knowledge when you don't accrue, with the wisdom of life. How life be, you don live with these people, you know as they take dey think. They dey think like rats. You don already figure out how they take dey think. Before they talk, you don know where they dey come from. If they dey come your community, because you don live with them, you will know say these people, we no fit trust them. No, we no fit let them. You go be the loudest voice. You go don educate your people to know, they say, to let them know say, come, nobody better pass you. Nobody. That na wetin some of wetin Peter Obi do for Anambra. Because I remember some of the girls when they come that time, when they come, I think whether na tech, something to do with tech. When na one Catholic school that they go. Secondary school children, na Reverend Father escort them come. Brilliant girls from the east, from Anambra State. I remember because I go there, I got an invitation somehow. I think somebody I knew. I can't go. I was blown away. The way these people were, the confidence, everything. My cousins, my little cousins were with me. And they were, my uncle said he brought them intentionally so that they go see, say Nigerians, they excel. Because these people never really see, they never really interact, they never feel go house. When they sit down, my uncle was very happy that they don't see, say, man, we get brilliant people, see what we they connected to. Those people come, it was marvelous. That's not wetin one man fit do. In his corner. If imagine say everybody go back, go dey educate their people for their different side. Say, listen, nobody better pass you. See this your skin, so na gold. All this bleaching when we dey see, so the thing go stop. All this is what you dey do, na gold. This skin, this thing when dey cover your body, when we say you go enter sun, you know they burn you. You don't know wetin God take you. You go talk to them. You go increase their morale. You go make them get pride in themselves. I'm telling you, nobody go fit talk to them anyhow. They go learn to respect wetin they be and who they be. No be so they do so. So yes, I support. Make the guy come. May he drive all, no exception. All. Who will go back? How God go take bless us with land filled with milk and honey. The real milk and honey na Africa. The real Garden of Eden na Africa. We abandon Garden of Eden, come embrace concrete. Make it make sense. Because we don't know. Nobody teach us history. We don't know. We exchange our jewel for concrete. No way when you go plant food for Nigeria wey no grow. Only tomatoes water when you go throw away. You say you throw one for backyard. Tomatoes, you never eat. How many days tomatoes don't germinate for your backyard? You don't they grow. Pepper unko, efo people rush they go buy for market. Plant one for your backyard. Everywhere don't food. Food not be problem for Nigeria. You still get good fertile soil. This one when they don't go dey partner with Bill Gates now. Who know wetin Bill Gates dey do for back? We never even touch like that one o. That man
Exactly.
I tell you for free go
Exactly.
dey one corner so just dey do wetin. Hey God, the thing just dey pain me. I know honestly to say, God na person wey go just give me superpowers. I'm telling you. I go just go Nigeria, go torchlight everybody. First of all, pack all of dem put for inside one place, just torchlight dem. Go check wetin elder people dey do. I'm telling you. Cause that man go dey there na just dey there, don hide am for one corner, e just dey do evil things. You no know. Because we have a moron up there. They no like anything about themselves. Colonial mentality. They still believe say una oyibo una better pass. They no see anything good in themselves. So when person hate himself, how you want to love you? How? Person when he hate himself, he no like himself. See France when he go that day, say as he open teeth like mumu, dey embrace pikin when he reach to be great grandson. I was embarrassed.
No be Dangote na carry am go meet that one for Aso Rock.
Exactly. Those mumu, all of them are mumu. They don't get sense. You see all these people when they so-called self-declared billionaires, they don't have sense. They don't have a knowledge of self is zero. They don't. They look these people like gods for their eye. These people, people, palm color people, they be like gods for their eye. No, no understand. These older people, they look them like gods. They believe say na only their own na better pass, na only dem fit do am pass. So na im make even when you see your own when get the opportunity, when sabi the work, you no go gree give am. That's why they think like that. You no go gree give am. You go wan suppress am because you no fit believe say something from you fit do something genius. The only thing wey you go fit, the only time wey you go even fit give dem ear na if dem dey outside dey do the thing, then you wan attach yourself to the good thing wey dem dey do. Is that not madness? If that is not self-hatred, please tell me what it is. Tell me what it is. How long are we going to continue like this? Even God himself go dey shake him head. He go say, see these people. When I bless with milk and honey flowing, money, no, all they need to do dig ground, money dey ground. See them. No sense. I'm telling you. You go dey talk am. You say no sense. Make dem no call me again. I already gave them everything they need. Now dem go give themselves sense so that they go know. So guess what? Even if all these atrocities dey happen, you go fold hand dey look una because una go need to wake up. I don already give una wetin una need. Una dey fear kpai. Una go kpai one day. Nobody go live forever. You never see person wey dey say na 1,200 years old. Name one person wey don live 1,200 years. If you 120 sef, you try. Nobody. You kpai go still happen. You no gas you wan take avoid am. Na you go choose how you wan take kpai. People wey no dey fear kpai, you know say dem no dey kpai. People wey no dey fear to kpai, dem no dey kpai. If you stand in front of say okay, you want na me be this, dem no dey kpai. E be like say people no understand. When you lay your life down, so you know wetin, just kukuma when e come, make e come, abeg I dey here. E go avoid you because you no go go before your time. You can't. Time don already dey when they write am down. You cannot go before your time unless this nonsense wey dey do for Africa be say they just dey treat human being like say no be anything, like mosquito, like termites wey dey disturb, like rodent. It's crazy to me. It's crazy. We can't continue like this. We can't. We need to dey borrow ourselves sense. These people don take us for a ride for centuries. Now like this we go fold hand dey look dem.
Do you know what it's going to be like if these people, if we leave these people now, so yeah, okay, we not fit do anything, we just, you know, I shudder to think. People will not get children now, they are happy. I'm telling you. Because I shudder to think the generation when they now, God forbid. What's the point? What is the point? Eh? It boggles my mind, though. It boggles my mind. It is up to us. I'm telling you for free, it is up to us. God already give us everything, all the access. Why you do say all this information wey dey come out, left, right, and center, exposure, everywhere you turn, you think say na by accident? When all these things don dey happen, no be today e dey happen now. E don tey when e don dey happen. Why be say na now the thing just dey come out back to back? You sleep wake up, another fresh one. You sleep wake up, another. You think it's by accident? That's God's way of helping. If we don't know, but we know now. The question is, what are you doing with the freaking information? What are you doing with it? This one never aggravate to nourish. That's what God is saying. So you people are still not aggravated? Even with this, he said they shock. Hey, I'm telling you, he said God dey shock. He dey say, kai, 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 kai. Even me, I'm not this patient. Even me as God, I get time when I dey vex, when I go raise hurricane, una dey there, hey, you go, na so God go dey do for everyone. You go dey do him hand like this, dey say, chai, I no wan, abeg take that thing comot, I no wan watch Nigeria right now, abeg, abeg, abeg. He sef go dey say, I need to protect my mental health. Oh my God. Hey! Hey, God abeg o. We can't. If we let this slide now, we be the problem. I will officially take my hands off completely if we allow this monster to slide more than September 16. Now we be the problem officially. Officially, I go deny Nigeria. Any Nigerian láyé. I just know how to speak the language. I'm telling you. I just know how to. Me? I don't know. I don't know. Nigeria. No, I'm from Burkina Faso. I kid you guys. I go Burkina Faso, go start life again. Where leaders, where men no dey fear. When be say if kasala burst, they go stand up for you. Na there I dey go. I either go to Burkina, Mali. I don't already decide the name when I go use. Or Niger, where men are standing up and saying, we cry today, nothing dey happen. That is where I'm going to go. F Nigeria. If this Ahmed, this fake Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if he remain past September 16, omo forget, I no be Nigerian again. I go avoid every platform when they talk about Nigerian news forever. Ha! God forbid. I never see where people go just dey, they just dey dump on you, they dump on even human being. When you maybe you be friend or you dey family setting, your people dey do you anyhow. You still get threshold, you go say, you know what, I don tire, I don do, I dey comot. Nigeria will not be like that. Every time something go happen, they go, God forbid. They go adjust. Even me when be human being, you no fit talk to me anyhow. You get where you talk, which I go. If my hand, if as it take do me, I go nod you. I go forget say I be woman. You get where the anger go reach, I go push back. No talk of a group of people. Say wetin dey happen. I no dey look for trouble o. But if you give me trouble, you no go rest. That trouble I go give am to you 1,000,000 times. No be the same blood dey fall for our veins. No, abeg o. God no create us like that. I'm sorry. He no create us like that. We need to get sense. We need to get sense because wetin dey happen for Nigeria, we have not even scratched the surface. They are signing bills behind your back. By the time you go to, you no go recognize your country again. Something wey don dey seep through everywhere because people are looking for money. So they will do whatever it takes to make that money, to feed their families. Will you then blame them? You can't. You can't. Unless if Peter Obi enter, that time my strength will be renewed. It go come dey renewed. I go ready to give anybody bumper to bumper. You when not talk anything, what do you have to say? You don't have anything to say. Shut up forever. You want to compare who? A demonic creature with an upright person, Kojo? Not on my watch. Anyway, most of them dey fit come my platform because the truth that I speak here, that we speak here, they cannot. I'm not going to put up with it. I won't. I beg. My religion are truth, love, and justice. You cannot, nothing can make me bend. I never see the thing. May God not ever let me see. Because I can't even stand injustice. If they do me like say na me they do. If person do wrong to another person, go be like say na me they do that wrong to. How? No. I'm telling you, because we can't keep doing this. We're better than this. We're bigger than this. Eh? We're better than this. We're bigger than this. We can't continue. This is crazy to me. This is crazy. Can't be waking up, sleeping every day. So what was the purpose God created you? What's the reason he created you? What's the purpose for him creating you? And you just go wake up every morning, sleep, when trouble come. Even during your forefathers' time, they fight war. I'm aware. All the men, they sign them up for warrior for king palace. What do they talk? Go back to your history. Your people fought. Your ancestors fought. Majority of them died. Majority of them died fighting wars. From village to village, conquering each other. Taking people as to come and pay off the debts that you owe. Your father could not pay. Oh yeah, I marry you. Or you, oh yeah, come and be doing work for how many months, however way they used to describe years and months back then. Until the payment is cleared, then you can go. Are you kidding me? You can pray, oh, I'm not saying you not pray. Come in, they pray. But at the end of the day, your hand should be to the plow. If your hand is not to the plow, forget it. Because nothing majestic is going to fall from the sky and say, oh yeah, come, let's go. It ain't gonna happen. God is going to be in the midst of your fight, in the midst of your voice. When these people started coming up and speaking truth to power and speaking, and there were few voices at that time. But look at everywhere now. Everywhere is full of people talking. People that you didn't expect that they will be talking. Look at every day. People are coming out and us. They are saying the truth. They are saying the truth. Not be treasurer of NBA be that one they'll come and expose the president. Did you think that would happen in Nigeria? Boldly, without fear, in Nigeria. I'm telling you, February 16th. Oh my God. If nothing happen, Omo, forget. Otiton, may nobody mention Nigeria near me again, ever. I will move to Burkina Faso. I will go get farm for there. So I may live my life quietly, they read novel. That's all I'm going to be doing. I will be reading novel, get farm, do one restaurant. That's it. I'm done with this professional life. Go to just do one restaurant, get farm for back, hire people. They improve their economy for them. Because Nigeria, go say it's Nigeria, which giant? Giant in the mud, forget. Abeg, farm. Give me small farm for backyard. Make I something dey, I go dey help una dey develop economy the way I can. That's it. I'm telling you guys. Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, which other country? All those countries wey don when e da see the way wey the angle, but that Burkina Faso dey my eye because I like the leader. The leader dey make sense. The guy head dey there na wise guy. He's wiser than his age, 37 or 35 guy, 35 years old. He's wise. Those kind of people now they like. I go there, go there and develop the economy. I go add, contribute. I go change my name. I beg. Down the lineage, they go say, she came originally from one place known as Nigeria before. I beg, I don't feel shocked. Well, my people, that's it. Enough ranting for the day. Mr. Give us our bandit. Are you still there? Hope I've not made you sleep off. Give us our
No,
mandate.
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh,
I know. I'm doing my. I'm doing something right
okay.
here. So I mean, all well said tonight. We can just continue to do what we are doing and trusting that the best will come out of this whole shenanigans that is happening in our country. We can continue and keep up with this. And I think there's someone that said something earlier. I think it's threefold cord. Yeah, threefold cord.
Dr. Paul.
Thank you very much. You said give us a mandate. Well done. For consistency on all platforms. I mean,
Yes,
not all of the
honestly.
platform, the good platforms like Omoye, Ninja Watch. I cannot go to one man went to more all of those evil,
Hell no.
satanic agents. But I mean, we all are in this together. We pray that our country get better, and then we start. It's sad, but we'll just continue to do our best, and hopefully something better can come out from the judiciary, and we can rescue our nation. Thank you very much, Omoye, for allowing
So
us to contribute tonight. Thank you so much. Have a blessed night.
thank you, my brother. Have a great night yourself. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for being with me on the panel and your contributions as well. Because not only one person fit do one. So it's very it's the movement is powerful when you have people with like minds, and you're able to speak the truth to power without any fear or favor. I mean, it's a sight to behold. So I also want to thank you for all that you're doing as well, for being a major part of this, because you are a major part of it, and for standing for the truth regardless of whose feelings get hurt. That's something that is not easy to come by. So yeah, thank you very much. Have a great night, my brother. My people, we have come to the end of the show. See, I'm like joke. I'm supposed to have been gone over an hour ago. But thanks to Guy Owalele and Kene, you guys made me, and then Give Us Our Mandate came in. So just couldn't shut it down. And of course, I remembered last minute the video that I wanted to play. I'm glad I remembered, because that video really revealed a lot as to the background of Agbado. So I'm very happy. I'm going to follow up. If there's a part two, I certainly will bring it here to you guys. But thank you very much, everyone. Esther, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by. Desmond, thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate. Everybody, Mona, good night. Oh, I go see you now on my next one. I hope you guys have liked and have shared the video, and let's keep the ministry growing. Our village needs to grow bigger, because we have minds, we have learning, unlearning, and relearning to do. There's a lot of work to do. Our minds have to be renewed. We need to learn who we are as Africans. Good night, everyone. See you on my next one. Bye.